All right, chat, lock in. First video. Long one, but it'll be interesting. It is the FaZe boys debating college graduates on whether or not they should, whether or not college is worth it, I guess. College graduates versus dropouts. Is college worth it? Is the debate. Let's lock in.
And that's why you're making unoriginal content. You're actually copying everybody else's content, doing the same video, because you didn't gain the critical thinking.
No, but you still have your mortgage. You still have your debt. Yeah, you do. How do you pay your taxes? Your housing taxes?
You could call your dean. I could call Aiden.
All right, well, I already off rip. I don't know if, like, didn't Ron make, like, $1.3 million in the subathon, like, when he was half the size of he is now? Going and being like, well, you still have a mortgage. They're all rich. like they're all, we're going into this conversation recognizing that they're going to be biased towards not getting college degrees because they're rich college dropouts. You have to recognize that the majority of college dropouts are not Lacey, Stable Ronaldo, Jason the Ween, FaZe Adapt. Like, those guys are, like, top performing college dropouts in terms of net worth.
Ross,
and I can call Beyonce. I can call Beyonce. So what are we talking about? Where did you get that money? Did you? Your mama just gave it to you?
You went to college to do Jakura watch parties, bro.
That's all you guys do. You guys each other. What's so funny? What's so funny?
So you,
I don't play. I'm not playing no games.
So you spent.
I think they're saying college is a waste of time. The argument between is college worth it is yeah, in the 80s, yes. Okay. There was no debate. Getting a college degree directly resulted in a higher income for that individual to where it was lucrative regardless of the degree you got. I think in modern times, it depends what degree you're getting, what you're trying to go into. I don't think it's as simple as saying, like, college is dumb. And I think, and this is slightly biased, in my experience as a streamer interacting with other streamers, I have noticed that I think that a lot of streamers immediately say college is a waste of time because in their own life, they have reached success without it. I got a college degree. That isn't really associated with my job. I mean, obviously I have a philosophy channel, which ties into my degree. I think it makes me a better streamer, right? You could get into a more niche argument on that. But what I want to say is, like, I think a lot of streamers go, hey, college degrees are fucking pointless. You should never get them because I reached success without it. And that's just like, I mean, that's a fucking fallacy. You're using your own personal experience to effectively say, like, why something is or isn't worth it for everyone, like a blanketed audience.
How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, my name is Simone Harris, and I think that college is good because you build relationships that you can use in the real world. I know you like to say that, you know, you have your friends from content creation, but when in doubt, those aren't really your friends. Those are just people that's using you for clout and for you to get to that next level.
So you're saying all these people right here.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think they're coworkers, but I would also say they're in a situation where they are friends. I think you being a coworker with somebody at like a 9 to 5 is a lot different than streaming with somebody. Whereas like collabs you might do with people that you're not really friends with and you're more acquaintances with. But like, I work with Sneeg. I would say I'm friends with Sneeg, right? Like, I stream with Zeusy. We're coworkers. I'm still friends with him, you know? I don't think it's just like we're using each other. Yes, we make content with each other. We need each other for content purposes. But it's like I would be friends with him regardless of whether or not I was still streaming with him or them.
Here are my friends.
No, they're not your friends. They're just using you.
We all get emotion. We all get money. Okay, we in the same boat.
Y'all using each other for views. And
They are. They are. I think FaZe in general is, I think not even just FaZe, content organizations in general effectively just triple your audience viewership because they share viewers. Like when Lacey, Ron, and Jason are all live, like they have 30K viewers each, 10 to 15K of those people, I'm guessing, are like hopping between all of their POVs, you know? Like, I think there's a lot of people that just watch Ron or just watch Lacey or just watch Jason, but I think they bounce in between them because they fuck with the group, not just one person. Like the Sidemen. You watch the Sidemen, you might watch KSI, but like most people that watch the Sidemen just watch like Sidemen Sundays and them as a group rather than the individual and the content they make.
I have real relationships with my friends who, you know, if I call them, I need a job or if I need help with something, that they're really going to show up for me.
You think college is the only place in the world you can build real relationships?
I'm not saying that that's the only place you can build real relationships.
Because I didn't even
meet
him through content.
I think for the average person, I think for the average individual, the friends you have in high school and college outside of those are likely the friends you're going to have for the rest of your life, for the most part. I think when you're done college, those friends, you don't make many more friends. Like, I'm not trying to freak people out, but like, once you're like when you're in your 30s, you're not meeting new friends. Like, you meet friends of friends. That's how it works. Once you're out of college, you're not organically meeting new people to be friends with often. You're usually meeting, like, any new friends I have are already friends with a friend that I have. I'm not like just randomly meeting a guy and being like, hey, what's up? Streaming wise, I do, but I think that's a different career than like if you say you go into finance and you start working a 9 to 5 and you're 24. Most of your coworkers are 50. Most of your coworkers are old as shit, right? Say you become a teacher. Most of your coworkers are old as shit. You know, you're not going to fucking bro down with a guy that's the same age as your dad. Like, she's right that college is a place where you do meet people. Like, that's where you get friends. Like, not always. I think a lot of areas are elsewhere, right? I think you could have a lot of, like, hometown friends or high school friends that you didn't just, like, drop off the face of the earth with. But, like, those people, they're like a use case where you're meeting a lot of people because this is, like, streaming is just a world of connections, even more so than, like, regular jobs. So, yeah, you're going to interact with a lot more people. And they live in fucking, like, don't they live in L.A.? They might have moved. I don't know where their new face house is.
But now you guys are friends based off of that, right?
We came up together.
What do you mean you came up together?
We made millions together.
If he gets money, I get money.
If he gets money, I get money.
Well, that's because you guys made content together.
If he goes down...
Well, it's not that they just make content together. They get effectively roped into sponsorship deals together. Whenever you see one of them get a sponsor, the other one gets a sponsor. Not always, but like at the Rainbow event that I was at, they were all there. Like, it wasn't just Ron. It wasn't just Lacey. Like, they're all there, right? So if one gets canceled, they all get canceled? No, but they have marketing value. The reason you want to enter an organization similar to a management is because when they go to ad companies and agencies and games and places that want to pay like large amounts of money to individual creators, they rope them all in and get all of them a bag, and they'll all do the same stream and YouTube video. They'll all do the same thing, right? For that amount of money instead of them just getting it. It enables them to have a higher market cap on how much they're going to get paid.
That's because you guys made content.
No, that's called a ride or die. That's my boy right there.
No. Go ahead.
I think college is completely useless, and I'm going to tell you why right now. Okay. Why would I spend tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars to go get a degree to then maybe make $20,000 or $30,000 a year?
20 grand. Lacey. There's people that go get college degrees in communications and then make 35, like, but 20, people with a college degree, 4-year bachelors, aren't getting paid $20K a year. How much is that hourly? That'd be like minimum wage in like Idaho. like $7.50, like 40-hour, 50-hour work weeks. Like, that's absurdly low. That's not how much. They're not getting paid that little. I know he's making like a point potentially, but like, I'll agree that I think if you're going to a college that's like $80K a year and you're getting a degree that doesn't really have a guaranteed amount of money associated, that's a waste. But I also think that's how people, I think that's a college issue on tuition value, but I also think that's something that you have to do yourself. Like, if you're going to college, plan that shit out. Go to a community college for 2 years, transfer to a state school. Get somewhere you get a scholarship or it's cheaper to go there, right? Like, getting the degree and places that are more expensive usually have better connections, but not all the time to where it's actually meaningful where you're putting yourself $250,000 in debt. I'll agree with what he's saying, but that doesn't mean that college is worthless.
I have to work a whole lifetime to make that back. When I could literally just
Not
go on the internet,
necessarily. If you,
post a
like-
few videos, and make a couple $100,000 a month.
Not necessarily. Like if you pick
Okay, it's not that fucking simple. It's not. I see, that's why when I saw this video and this thumbnail pop up, I knew a lot of their points would be like, hey, you could just fucking grind social media and do what I did. Like, yes, I think everybody can have potential for success on social media, but like, not everybody's going to be able to get to the point where you're making, you know, fucking millions of dollars.
right degree to go into, like STEM, so like technology, science, being a doctor, lawyer, you can make just as much as what you're making. And you can also
I gotta disagree with her. I don't think any surgeon makes as much money as Lacey. I think Lacey makes more than 99% of doctors and people with PhDs in the United States. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Maybe brain surgeons. I would, if you want my, I think Lacey makes $6 million a year. I think Lacey probably makes around $5 to $8 million a year. I don't think most surgeons are making that amount of money. Doctors, hell no. Maybe like if you're like a brain surgeon or like something like that. But like, I mean, dude, he's a top 10 Twitch streamer. He streams like 200 hours a month. And he runs 5-minute mid-roll ads every fucking 5 minutes. Like, they're churning. Like, I don't run mid-roll ads on stream. Like, I make my money on YouTube. He makes his money on Twitch.
also start a business from that as well. It's not like you have to just go and work.
Yeah, but it's just so much extra. Why am I putting all this money in like 8 years?
Because
and
you're
I
thinking
do
of
all this
generational
stuff?
wealth. Like, think about it. What if TikToks go down? Like how they were trying to ban TikTok a few months ago and all these other sites. What if they go down? Or what if you get banned from Twitch or something? You wouldn't be able to do anything. So you would have
if I got banned from Twitch,
I think she's approaching the argument poorly because she should be arguing why college is worth it, not why college is worth it for him. Because college isn't worth it for Lacey. We have to go into that argument knowing that none of these guys' college is meaningful to them. They don't want the degree to know the knowledge, and they don't want the degree for the money. They can retire right now. So, like, we're arguing a separate individual, a gray area, John Smith. Why does he need to get a college degree, right? A random guy.
I could just go to a different platform, or I could stick to
But
YouTube.
what if all
or
these platforms go down?
what if science goes down?
But how would science go?
Oh.
Not just science, but you can be a doctor.
I don't believe in
a
science.
lawyer. What about being
Oh, now see, now he's ready.
a doctor, lawyer, psychologist? Like, there's different
Okay,
fields
and
that you can go into.
what happens when all these AI and robots start coming up and doctors start losing their jobs
Okay,
to
but
robots?
are you not on TikTok now with all these AI videos that's like on TikTok of like old people talking, older people talking?
Yeah, I mean, they're not.
That's
There's way more
AI.
volume of people to watch and consume content than there is of people who need open heart surgery, right? So you don't need doctors as much as you need content
Yes,
creators.
you do. People go to the
Don't.
hospital every single day.
Okay, and people
Yeah, but then you could get into the idea that the supply of creators is so high. The demand for creators is high, but the supply is also absurdly high. The amount of people trying to get into content creation now is more than ever, and it's still, you know, relative to modern economy where the top 1% of creators make 90% of the money. Outside of that, like, yeah, the demand for heart surgery is not insanely high, but the supply is very low. So when there's demand, you need specific people, and they're going to get paid well.
watch my stream every single day.
Watch content while they're in the hospital.
Yeah, you're laying in the hospital bed, kicking up watching our streams.
No, nobody's really watching you guys either.
Oh, so no one's watching us.
No.
Okay,
like a hater.
so where's all the views coming from then?
Like bots and stuff. Like
Oh,
you guys are.
So the bots are generating money.
Yes, AI bots.
I mean, hey, the bots can keep making me money.
Why don't you do it then?
Yeah, why don't you get bots?
Who said I don't make content?
So then your argument.
I still make content, but I went to school and I got a degree. And I don't rely on making content to.
So let me ask you a question.
For my lifestyle.
What content do you make?
I make content on helping the homeless people.
Okay, and so you have a homeless degree? So you don't use your degree. Thank you. You don't use your degree.
I do use my degree.
How?
Because
unless
I do
you went
other
to,
stuff.
So unless you went to school, unless you went to school for 4 years to learn how to feed the homeless, you don't use your degree.
I do use my degree. I do stuff during the daytime, and I do stuff.
I want to know what her degree is in, though.
I think I caught her here. I got her. Come on now.
So you saying that you only can use
I'm saying it's a waste of time. You wasted time. You could have.
No, I didn't. I met amazing people. I got good relationships. Like,
it's not a waste of time. You can fucking work. I got a degree while I did social media. That, I feel like that's also, I'm not on either side right now. I think it's a middle ground, but like to say it's a waste of time, like, no, you're just a bum. I'm not saying that about Lacey. I'm saying like motherfuckers that are like, I got to drop out to pursue social media because I don't have time. Yeah, the fuck you do. Do your gen eds online, take your fucking major classes in person, and fucking take 16 credits a semester. You're done in 4 years. I would go to school. This is what I would do. I'd take 1 day off a week. I would do all my asynchronous work for like 9 hours straight. I would study after stream. I would stream on the days that I didn't have class. When I had class, I would wake up, go to the gym, go to class, come home, immediately stream. And then when I was done, I would do 3 hours of homework and studying. And yeah, it sucked, but like you get it done. Like talking about the grind for social media, you could do both. That's why and keep in mind, I'm saying you could do both with the degree I was getting. If I was in STEM, this would be a whole different story. I will say that. If I was getting a fucking chemistry degree, I would not be doing both at the same time.
My dean, I can call my dean if I need to do something.
You can call Aiden Ross,
I have those relationships. Like I said, all these people are using.
Can you call Mr. Beast right now?
Each other. Yes, I know him too because I make content as well.
Call Mr. Beast.
I don't have my phone on me. You call him.
Call him right now.
But what are we getting at?
He ain't gonna answer. That is an empty promise. And Lacey, call him right now. I bet Lacey has his number, but he's not gonna answer the phone.
Like just because you can call him, like
you could call your dean. I could call Aiden Ross.
And I can call Beyonce. I can call Beyonce. So what are we talking about?
Call her.
But what do I need to call her for?
Because you said you could call her, so call her.
You said I can call Mr. Beast.
You said you could call your dean.
Aiden Ross's number.
How do you know what number I got?
I don't think Aiden Ross has your number. I don't think he does.
But what makes you feel like he doesn't have
We're
my
going
number?
off track here. We're going off track.
What makes you feel like he doesn't have my number? What makes you feel like?
You have Beyonce, you said. You got Aiden Ross. He's above Beyonce.
That's all you guys do. You guys say.
Aiden Ross is not above Beyonce. What the fuck? Aiden Ross is about a fucking 10,000 people below Beyonce. Beyonce's like one of the most famous people in modern times in the music industry.
Each other for views. That's all y'all do. Y'all sit in them content houses.
And you wasted 8 years of your life going to school to feed the homeless.
8 years.
You could have been fed the homeless.
4 years, baby.
You could have fed the homeless with 0.
What'd you get your degree in?
Don't worry about that.
So you.
That matters. What do you? Okay, no, that's crazy. What'd you get? That's a valid question. Adapt chiming in for the first time. Yeah. Now, what'd you get your degree in?
You got a degree, but you won't say what you got your degree in.
Because it's
she
not.
knows
It's gonna be like business communications.
It was a waste.
Because she doesn't use it at all in her day-to-day life.
At all.
That's why.
Not even a
First of all, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. So you have an entrepreneuring degree.
Yes. No.
Oh, so you don't use it.
Oceanography, they would lose it if she was like, I got a degree in oceanography.
You went to college.
What's your degree in? Fucking philosophy and religion. I know it's useless, right? I think it's useful for my life. I think it's useful for social media and obviously my philosophy channel. I think it's made me a better person, but I don't think it's something that gets me a job.
Become an entrepreneur.
Religion, yes. Philosophy and theology.
You made your own business. So you
That makes no sense. I'm sorry.
Like I said, relationships. You build relationships that you can keep for the rest of your life.
You could do that anywhere. You don't need to go to college.
Yes,
You need to pay
I could go to
I get that,
Equinox
but
and go build relationships.
You guys all know you guys don't with each other for real.
We
all know that.
live together.
Yeah, because y'all make content. Y'all wake up, y'all suck each other's then y'all make content.
That's not true.
and then,
2020.
like,
Actually, I eat his.
yeah, and you, like he said, you eat his
2023, he was friends with me, and I wasn't a thing then.
He was.
How many followers you got?
In
What's
total,
what's the
Yeah.
relevancy though?
like 5 million maybe.
Can I come work for you?
What?
No,
Why not?
because you have no knowledge of my space.
I went to college.
I don't give a.
I don't know if any of my editors went to college outside of Brady. Anybody that works for me, I don't think they went to college. I don't know. JDYO might have. Filth didn't. I don't think Filth went to college. Well, Brady's in college. I think editing's also usually a career that you don't get a college degree for. I think most editors start when they're teenagers and then transition and usually start editing afterwards. I think that's just like experience more than it is like a cinematography degree or something. Now there is stuff where people could go to college for like film and like you can get really good at editing there, but
You didn't go to college.
I did go to college for 2 years.
2 years and then you dropped out.
I did drop out.
So what made you drop out?
I was making more money making content than I was going
But
to
what
college.
happens when all this content stuff goes away? What happens when the internet goes down? What are you gonna do?
I have millions in my bank account waiting for that.
Talk to me. Talk.
No.
No.
But it's people mentally ill with millions.
Exactly.
You need your mind. You need your brain.
Exactly.
I have my brain.
You can hire a therapist.
I can hire a
We
therapist.
can too, and people that work.
And guess
9 to
what? My
5s can
therapist
too.
isn't going to have a degree.
Why wouldn't?
Chat GPT.
I'd rather talk to someone who is more on an intellectual and
I'm done
spiritual.
talking to this ignorant person. Who wants to come and save me?
Oh, we meet again.
How you doing?
How are you?
What's your name?
Lacey.
Hey, eyebrows. You look good. I'm Rhonda.
Thank
Rhonda
you.
Bankston.
Nice
I'm
to-
a registered nurse. I'm a 1985 HBCU alumni graduate with honors.
Okay, well, you're
honors
talking
with
to-
Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
2-year
I'm a
streamer,
registered
1-year
nurse.
YouTuber, and 2-year
But can I tell you
TikToker.
something? When does your mind
I think graduating with like cum laude, summa cum laude isn't very impressive. I got magna cum laude. It's not hard. What is that? Your GPA when you're done. Like if you graduate, like I had like a 3.9 something, so I graduated with like magna cum laude. Summa cum laude is like I think like a 3.95, which is almost perfect. But like most people that graduate college probably graduate with like you can actually look that up. What GPA do people graduate with college? 3.15. So like a C. What is the 3.15 to number GPA? Was that like an 80 something? Is a B plus? That is not a B plus. 86%. That's not a B plus. That's a B.
rest? You need your mind. This is the control center of everything. People going crazy because they losing their money, the stocks, they losing their homes. Will burn up like it is.
So you're asking when does
Yeah,
my mind rest?
when do you
I'll
rest?
tell you when my mind rests, and this will go back to her question. My
do you
mind
rest?
rests when I end the content and I'm hanging out with my friends. That's when my
I
mind
probably won't be
rests.
fucking with you.
But when you think about it, a college degree, is it the only friends you got?
It's okay, bro.
Why you need a big circle?
You don't.
I keep my circle small.
But you learn things by going to college, getting a degree.
I'll agree. I think that when college gives you just life experience. Like, I think college made me a better person. I think college made me mature. And I know a lot of people are immature in college. I think I was immature in college for the first year, and I wasn't in person. And then that fucking first in-person year in college, it's like, lock the fuck in, buddy. Like, you're a real person. Like, you need to do shit. And so having to balance, like, a job and college just makes you, like, better. I think it just makes you better. Same thing with, like, trade school. Doing anything where you have to, like, balance multiple things at once.
Well, what does that have to do with
And then everything in perspective seems easier.
college?
It has.
Like, if you're in college and you're able to fucking do a part-time job, working like 20, 30 hours a week, and get a college degree, everything after that is so much easier. Like, your work might be harder, but you'll have more time.
To do with even starting first grade. How were you as a child growing up.
And no, there's another thing. You're in college. You're working 20, 30 hours a week. You're getting your degree, and you're getting fucking hammered 3 days a week on the fucking weekend. And you're still not failing your classes. That is like prime time. You're fucking zoned in on life. Like, the fact that you can separate and be able to do that at the same time and get all those things done where you still are like fucking hungover in class and you're fucking figuring it out. Oh my God.
Structure. Do you feel like you got structure in your life?
100%.
If your money goes
More
down,
structure than I had in college, because I went to college.
How long did you go?
2 years,
And
pre-law.
what was your pre-law?
Pre-law? Lacey went to pre-law.
What was your goal for that pre-law degree?
I was gonna be a lawyer, and then I realized, holy
What
shit,
type of
I'm
law?
wasting my time.
What type of law?
I don't think it was wasting this time. I think it was the same thing. Like, when I switched to philosophy, it was just like, I don't want to go to college for 7 years. That's what I remember I kept telling myself that. I was like, I don't want to get a doctorate. I think that's terrible. Like, having to be, like, people that get 8-year doctorates and are in college till they're, like, almost 30, and then you have residency, and then you're not actually getting your real salary until you're 32, that sucks. It's guaranteed money, but it's ass. Like, it's hard.
I'm gonna be a criminal defense lawyer.
And do what?
Defend criminals.
So what made you change your mind?
I saw that I made more in a month than I was gonna pay for my whole entire tuition, so I dropped out to pursue my dreams.
So you really didn't care about people, you care about money.
I think that's where you should switch, though. I think so many streamers do what he did, and they're like, I just made a lot of money this month. I'm dropping out. And then a lot of them fall off, and then they don't have money. He's got retirement money now, so if he fell off, it doesn't matter. But at the time, he didn't know that. I think it's just easier to be like, hey, I'm making money now. Instead of doing law, I'm just going to switch to something that I would enjoy.
Why do you work?
Because if you care about...
Especially if you're 2 years in. If you're a year in and you drop out, whatever. There's streamers that are 3 years in and drop out. And they're like, I could go back whenever I want. Yeah, but you're never gonna. Just fucking do it. Just fucking get it done. You have 1 more year. Just finish the degree. What are you fucking doing? Like, they'll be like 75% done their fucking degree, like on the portal. And they'll just be like, yeah, I'm just not going to enroll next year. What? Just hell, I would understand you being like, I'm going to take a 5th year now. You could go, I'm making so much money, I got to focus on social media. I'm going to take 2 classes instead of 4 and finish in 5 years instead of 4. And then you'll be done. Like, because you have 1 year left, you could just disperse it.
People in a degree, whether it's social work, being a doctor, you got to care about you first. They ain't care. The money will come. If you're doing the right thing with people with your college degree.
Here's the thing.
Degree in nursing and biology, and I care about people.
Well, I think college, something that she has to say that college it really does, it's not even just friendships like the other lady was saying. It's connections. You go to college for connections. You go to college to get internships. You go to college to get friends in your degree and your major. So then when you're in the career field, you're able to prop each other up. Like, that's why you're there. The classes matter. But, like, when you're in college, do internships. If you don't do internships, you are wasting the entire point of why you're in college. Like, if you're like, hey, I'm going to get a degree, it's different if you're in STEM, but like if you're going to get you're going to go to get your PhD and become a doctor or fucking physical therapist or something. If you're going into college and you're getting like a finance degree and then you do no internships, now you're just not going to get hired. If you do that internship, now you have an in the second you're done.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Come on, Lacey, say
You don't care about nobody.
I know
you
what you're
care
saying.
about
Listen, Rhonda,
algorithms.
listen.
It shows. It shows.
Listen,
do you love people?
People die. Money lasts forever. Okay?
They do die.
Generation. My kids will have money.
But even
But
with
I'ma
that,
die.
my mama died April 9th of this year.
Rest in peace.
Your kids will have money, but you won't be at all really related to them. Like, I'm trying to make money for generational wealth for my children and then their children. Their kids, who gives a fuck? Like, they're not even related to you. Like, your great-great-great-great-great-grandkids are like 2% your blood. Not that I don't care, but I'll be dead. They won't know my name. They won't care about me. And, like, you could say that's, like, selfish, but it's like, that's not and then the money's just getting dispersed more and more and more and more. So generational wealth, like you can make a shitload of money, but that's not getting dispersed to your great grandkids, because now it's going to be split 15 ways. You could have $10 million and then now it's no longer generational wealth.
91 years old, rest in peace, lived a good life. But what she instilled in me, the values that she instilled in me, has made me the woman I am now.
So you're
successful.
Exactly. Your mother,
registered nurse.
Same way my mom instilled
Own
values on me.
businesses.
College didn't instill values on you. Your mom did.
But she encouraged me to go to college. My parents were college graduates. Generations of college graduates, entrepreneurs.
Let me ask you a question.
Makes me who I am.
Do you have kids?
I have one daughter.
So does your daughter go to college?
Had a college degree, got
So
one.
you told your daughter,
dietitian.
you sat your daughter down, you said, hey, I want you to spend $100,000 a year to go to.
I just think life in general between the ages of like 19 and 22 is where you're really changing. But I think college sparks that change way more rapidly than not getting anything would. Like if you're out of high school and you go to trade school, that's going to spark some change, right? You're going into adulthood. You're going to adulthood no matter what, and you have to make that slow change. But if you get out of high school and then immediately just start working the same 9 to 5 you've been working at while you were in high school, and you just work more hours, you're not changing as an individual. You're just no longer in high school. But if you're forcing yourself to have new experiences, see new ideas, and see things in a different perspective, like that made me a better person. Like if I never went to college, I genuinely think I would be a worse individual, because I would have never been forced to see the other side. I would have never been forced to see, hey, this is what life is like. Like I need to lock in. You would have just been doing the same thing.
So did I.
That's great for her.
Full ride. Didn't have
Unfortunately,
to pay a dime.
that was a waste of time.
Not at all.
That was a waste of time.
She didn't have to spend any money, and she makes more money back.
She could have been making more money. She could have been doing something else.
But is it about money?
But she could have been helping people.
But you don't care about people.
She
You
could have
keep
been.
talking about money.
She could have been helping people.
You keep talking about money. You don't care about people.
Let's talk about other things then. Materialistic things. Why do we have jewelry? Why do we have anything? We could be giving that to other people, money to other
Somebody gave me everything I got on.
people. Every single thing.
Really, seriously, Rhonda?
Community. Someone gave me these beads.
I'm gonna be honest. You wearing that jewelry is
Vicky-
selfish.
Is it?
Yeah.
I give it to you. Tell me why I said
You're talking about people, helping people. You could be giving that to the homeless.
I have given to the homeless. Homeless veterans, Long Beach, VA. I was the last nurse manager for 7 years. $100,000 job, RN, housing homeless veterans for Orange County and Long Beach.
The whole argument of this is college. College doesn't teach you morals. People go to college and they hoes and they drink, they smoke, they do this, they do that. You didn't, but a lot of people do. College. What happened?
The dropouts.
Yes.
Oh, hold on a minute.
The dropouts be doing that, and the people that take 6 years to get a 4-year degree. Like, you could party in college in a reasonable manner, or you could party so much that you fail your classes, have to withdraw, and then take them again next semester.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
So you think college is worth it?
Yes, I believe that college is mainly for life enrichment. It's to grow. It also gives you a safety net to do things while you're also creating content. Because how many influencers do we see that now are all dried up? They go on talk shows.
99% of them. You're talking to the 1% that had success. Like, I want Lacey to recognize that as well in this debate, where it's like, he's successful, but like the majority of creators get success, drop out, move to LA, stay there for a month, fall off, and then fucking move back home with less money they had when they went there. Like that if I'm being honest, that's TikTokers. That's not, TikTokers do that. Because I think Twitch and YouTube, when you grow and you have a level of solidified growth where you're making enough money to actually drop out of your job, it's more, I guess, solid. TikTok, you could go from 0 to 3 million followers in 3 days. And then you could be making, $30K and be like, hey, I have enough. I make what I make now at my job. I'm going to drop out. And then you move. And then you're fucked because you fall off.
But your life costs a lot of money. How much does your house cost?
I paid it all in cash.
Okay, no, but you still have your mortgage. You still
No, I
have your
don't.
debt. Yeah, you do.
I pay
How
it
do you
off
pay
with
your
my mom.
taxes? Your housing taxes.
Yeah, that's fine. I have real
No,
estate
but what
that
I'm
pays
saying
for
is,
it.
what I'm saying is, money
I have
keeps.
pendants. You know what I do? On Christmas, I look for families, like single moms of 4 kids, and I raise the rent on Christmas.
Love that.
Okay.
So why do you go to college?
So I go to college to better enrich myself and to try to actually improve society overall. It's not just about
Bullshit.
the. Okay.
Bullshit. I don't believe that. I don't
Want to
buy
know what
that
I
for a
do?
second.
You want to know
What
what I
do you
do?
do?
I'm a major in political science and I'm a double major in Black study and business administration. So actually I do. So what I do is I've worked with Disney, I've worked corporate, I've worked with people to make sure that diversity inclusion is furthered, that we make sure that people have opportunity to tell their stories, people of diverse audiences. Thank you. So yeah.
Why do you have to go to college for that?
Because when I'm in those rooms, the reason why I was the one that had a place to speak was because I was the
You got a level of credibility.
one that went to college, had my education, and grew my learning. I would not have been the one chosen if I did not go to
So
college.
what you're saying is all the things you say in these meetings and takes were instilled on you by someone else teaching you them. It's not your actual beliefs. It's all put into.
Oh no, it's not put. It's not put into your head. I think now Lacey's getting into the argument that like, I'm not saying Lacey's saying this, but you know the common argument where it's like, everybody's just trying to make you liberal when you go to college. If you go to college, they're just trying to make you a liberal idiot. They're always instilling liberal. I don't think that's the thing. Like, in my own experience, yeah, I'm liberal, but like when I was in college, they're not like forcing those ideas on you. They're just like, you have class. You're being taught things from different perspectives. Like in philosophy, we're being taught every perspective. And you just pick one, right? And a lot of the time, the one that you end up falling with is the one that is more, forgiving or something that's not as autocratic or I guess hard right. And so that usually just happens, right? I'm not saying this is a definitive connection, but usually it's not because they're fucking brainwashing you in college. When you get more educated, you usually get a little more liberal. I'm not saying that there's people with PhDs that are conservative, but I'm saying you usually get a little more liberal the higher up in education you get. Not because they're forcing you to do that, but because you're learning these random classes, you're gaining these perspectives from people you would never interact with, and you become more forgiving in terms of like, hey, I'm saying socially liberal as well, not economically. Like economically, different story, depends what you're doing.
You don't have your own opinions. Someone gave you those opinions and taught you
That's
how
plagiarism.
to think.
To an extent.
You know what?
I don't think that's true. Like when I went for philosophy as well, so it really depends. But I think philosophy is also what he's talking about because he's saying somebody gave you those opinions. If you're taking a math class, you're not being given an opinion. You're being given facts about math and science and shit like that. So coming from somebody that literally went to class where we're talking about all things subjective and the professor has the definitive capability to tell me what he thinks. My professor for moral theory would not tell us his opinion. Every single philosophy professor, or every single section in philosophy where we would go over Friedrich Nietzsche, David Hume, Descartes, fucking Socrates, Aristotle, when we would go over them, he would always defend them with his life. Even we could do one where they were polar opposites in perspective, and each section he defended them like they were the right answer to everything. And so you never were brainwashed into thinking one way or another. Every argument was presented to you in a manner where you're being given this and saying this is the right thing and this is why, and it's your job to go that makes sense or it doesn't. And then you form your own opinion. And by the end of the class, a lot of people agreed with certain ones more than others. They formed their own opinion. Some people really fell into David Hume or Aristotle or whatever it was. And you weren't given something where it's like, hey, this is what's right. I think that's like, some professors do that. I think it's a lot less than you think.
That's a good take. How is that any different from you doing any of your stuff?
It's not. You're right. I follow
So
trends.
what I'm saying is, so your problem is you're not talking anything about college. You're talking about learning from others. That happens in anything you do. That happens whether you go to college. That happens whether you
Exactly,
don't go
which
to
is
college.
why you don't need college for it.
But that's not.
And he's saying they're instilling those values on you. I think college is an area where you remove instilled values, which is why I also think, this is my honest take, I think conservative values usually intertwine with tradition. Tradition is passed down through generations. You're instilled those values at a young age, and college is somewhere where you kind of break all of those traditional values and you see the world in a new manner. So a lot of people go into college and come out liberal or more liberal, and that upsets people because they're no longer holding the traditions that their parents once instilled on them when they were a child. You're always going to be given bias at the start of your birth because you're going to be taught things from your parents' perspective. And a lot of the time, if your parents are already liberal, you're just going to be seeing something that's more new age, right? Conservative values are tradition and kind of holding things, you know, in a more conservative way. And when you go to college, that is trying to open up your mind and teach you new things. A lot of those traditional values are sometimes thrown out the door by you, not by your professor, but by you once you take those classes. And so I think a lot of older generations see college now as a bad thing for society when that's just kind of the process of going to higher education, is seeing things in a new light, in a new, non-traditional way.
That's not the point. The information that I learned, I did need college to know.
So what did you learn in college that's different from day to day?
College.
No, I'm saying truthfully, like actually, like, what did you learn in college that you didn't believe in yourself already?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the history of the world. I don't know everything that's ever happened between different communities, different people. I would not have known
No,
them.
you got to specialize. You're getting a degree in a specific field. I went to college, but you couldn't ask me questions about fucking physics.
Those things. While you live in your social bubble, a lot of times you don't know what's going on in other countries. You don't know what's
Why did we just zoom in on that woman?
going on.
That's got nothing to
So,
do
but
with it.
truthfully, like
Yeah, no.
unbiasedly,
Yeah.
like serious, if you only learn that through college, you can't, if you wanted to learn about history, can't you just Google that? Like seriously, I'm actually serious.
How much of that information is actually filtered and gone through?
But it's the
depending
same
on
thing
where
with
you're at?
college, like the college professors, I'm sure they use the internet to look up stuff. Like
No, they have their degree. You don't
Yeah,
get
but
that
where
through
Here's the thing that you're not understanding. College professors in 10 years, in order to teach history, in order to teach this, they're gonna play our clips in order to teach the kids.
What is this? What? Tell me what college class we'd be
We are a
watching
part of
this.
history.
We are a part of history. You know, I had a viral clip talking about Donald Trump.
The reason I wanted Trump was because I wanted to make more money. All right, that's why. I'm gonna say it. At least I'm honest. I don't give a. At least I'm not sitting here.
I never understand that though, because I make more money under Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, but it's not going to help long term. Like in the short term, he'll make around like $75,000 more with a big bill because there's like a 3% cut on specific businesses and people that make over a specific amount of money. But like that's chump change for somebody that's making, $5 million a year or something like that.
They're gonna play that in history classes in probably a couple hundred years to the kids to teach them.
I don't think so. I think with everything that's going on with Donald Trump, I don't think that you're that important. If I'm being so completely
I'm
honest.
telling you,
I don't think you're that
we're
important.
a part of
I don't
history.
think. Okay.
Adapt. Adapt is also Adapt is going to have I'm curious to what he's going to say, because Adapt has been making money, like absurd money, since high school. Like Adapt has been rich since he was like 16. So he's going to be, I feel like Adapt might say high school's useless. I don't know. We're going to see. I also am going to have the take that I don't think Adapt is dumb. I think Adapt plays dumb, and that's the character that he puts on for social media. I don't think Adapt is dumb. I think Adapt acts stupid and like a stoner for the content. I don't think he's stupid. I think he knows what he's talking about. He's just like, I'm going to play into this.
Hi, nice to meet you, Brandon.
I believe that, yeah. Do you?
No.
Why not?
Most successful people are college dropouts.
Because there is a top 1%. There's the richest people. There are some that
I don't know the statistics on this, but from my guess, I would assume there is a higher margin of absurdly successful people that are college dropouts than college grads. But college grads have a much higher average success level than college dropouts. Like 95% of college dropouts that don't go into trades, don't go into anywhere else, are going to make much less than almost all of college grads. But the top college grads will make less than the top college dropouts.
That are college graduates, there are some that are not. I'm not saying that going to college will automatically make you part of that top 1%. But the point is to have a bedrock to build on. The point is to be, if we talk about how many people who are in the industry that I know of that did not go to college, that dropped out of college, it's such a small percent that actually made it. And honestly, good for y'all. No one's shaming that. But the point is there's so many people who are struggling month to month to month. Look at all the stories that we hear about LA, Hollywood, La La Land, like everything going on. Like not everyone's gonna make it. The thing is the same can be said for people that go to college. The difference is people that go to college have a higher chance and are more likely to live in that medium range where they're not worrying about when's my next gig, I'm freaking out.
Yeah, to that, I mean, you're saying it's safer to go to college. You have a safe.
It's a safe bet, yeah, and then they're always going to say, well, you got to step out of your comfort zone. And that's true, but it's like, I think the general goal is the American dream where you're supposed to make more than your parents. That is the ideal. Every person subconsciously wants to make more than their mom and dad did or does. And that's success. If you make more than your parents, you're doing great, right? Even if you make less, that's not true. The definitive ideal of the idea of the American dream, as it originally started, was that every generation you made more and were better off than your parents. And so when you look back at your dad, you made more than him, and your dad made more than your grandpa. And so you're doing way fucking better than 60 years in the past. And then you just keep going down. Now that doesn't really exist anymore. Most people make as much or less than their parents do.
Guaranteed a stable
I never
lifestyle.
said guaranteed.
You're
You have a higher
You're not
chance.
guaranteed, but it's easier to live a
You're more
stable
likely,
lifestyle
yes.
financially if you take that route. That's why I think there's a top 1% because people take the risk. They take the gamble. They are not. It's not guaranteed that you're going to make it. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, but the majority of top 1%ers are Nepo babies, are like people that were born into some level of connection or success. Yes, these people are top 1% from their own doing, but it's very rare that you reach maybe top 10% yourself. It's very rare that you reach top 1% just by yourself.
He has kids.
That's because you don't have kids.
He has kids. He has kids.
What? How's that relevant at all?
Yes,
Don't
he's
have kids.
35.
How's that relevant? You decided to have kids.
It's extremely irrelevant. It is.
Because I don't have kids. That's my choice. I don't want
stick his
kids,
weenie.
so I don't have kids.
Well, that's easier when you don't have kids. Then you can go and jump and do whatever the heck you want.
Well, that's
a lot of
what-
streamers
if
want
you,
kids.
if you had a kid at 18 before you had a solidified stable income, that's your own fault. That's not his. He made the smart decision.
I'm saying the reason that top 1% exists is because the people in that top 1%, they take the risk and
Well, I would agree. I would agree that having a kid at a younger age mitigates your potential to make more quicker because you divert a lot of your life to the care of your child than personal success. I don't know if there's statistics on that, but I would assume people that have kids at a younger age make less money because if you have a kid, if you don't have a kid and you're able to work more and do more, maybe you make more because you work more hours because you have a kid, but I'm saying like you might be able to get better job opportunities, move around more. Because like when you're in your early 20s, if you're not having a kid in that time, you're able to like pick up job offers anywhere in the world. You could work in a different state. You could do different jobs. You could work weird hours, right? Versus having a kid when you're like 19, you're still a teenager, and then now you have to hunker down in whatever opportunity you can because you're focused on your kid, which is very respectable. But I'm saying like it limits your potential to make money.
and they gamble on something that has never been done before, that the likelihood of you succeeding
A kid at a young age is a nerf. Okay, I'm not going to say it's a nerf. I'm saying I think that's I don't think anything's wrong with that. If you want to have a kid in your early 20s, have a kid in your earlier 20s, you know, it's your life. But it hurts your potential to grow exponentially in the job world because you have to focus a large portion of your life to the care of your child rather than money.
And making it to that top 1%
Okay.
is
yeah, it's so a nerf. In some way.
slim.
But there's the thing is, like I said, that top 1% is a mix of people who have gone to college and those who have not. But if we want to talk about the 99% who are not, so many people who don't go to college, not have the opportunity to go to college, do not make it out. We're not just talking about the 1%, because the 1% is a mix. It's not all one.
Mm-hmm.
But that 99%, there's a lot of people, especially at the bottom, who never went to college, who never had the opportunity.
Yeah,
Who never wanted to, who dropped out. And you guys lived nice, you rode on it for a long time, and all of a sudden it starts to deplete. Once again, like, there are always gonna be people, college are not going to college, that are gonna succeed. But the chances of you being able to succeed, have something to fall back on, if you go to college.
Yeah, I think you have to look at it in a perspective of somebody that has no connections. Because you could be a college dropout or somebody that doesn't go to college, but your dad owns a fucking landscaping business and you just work for him and make $80K a year out of fucking high school. Right? Like you could have something where like your parents have a successful business where you don't require a degree and you're able to just learn on hand. But, like, that's not a Nepo baby in the sense, like, oh, you're rich. But, like, you're getting handed some level of, like, I guess, you're getting handed something to you that if you just don't fuck it up, you'll be good. Versus having to build from ground up. Like, you're starting on the 3rd floor versus the ground level.
College is higher. If we want to talk about Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, all those people, a lot of them, once again, were dropouts. But the thing is, a lot of them built their platform, built their things while they were in college. So once again, maybe they didn't have to finish.
I think that's usually forgotten. Like Mark Zuckerberg, he went to Harvard for like 2 years and then while in college made money and then dipped.
College. But the thing is, they still had to go to college or they would have never had the
Well, they got
opportunity
in
or
college
success.
and was like, wow, this is a waste of time.
Actually, that's not exactly what happened. They learned how to do what they did. They met the people they needed to meet. No, through college.
No, they did not meet it through high school. They had those if you watch, doesn't Mark Zuckerberg have a movie where he met the like Vondelvoss twins or whatever their name was in Harvard? And if he didn't go to Harvard, he wouldn't be the founder of Facebook. Like he might have been rich in some other way, but like the social network like shows you like, yeah, he didn't graduate college, but he needed that.
Actually.
No, you're wrong.
Oh,
no.
You're friends with him?
Your friend, call Mark. Call
Mark.
What does it have to do with being friends?
So how do you
with
know his life?
How do you know?
If you're...
The fucking movie! The movie! It's his life! It's his fucking life! The fucking movie. There's a movie about Mark Zuckerberg.
Have you never read an autobiography? Have you never read a book?
Why would I read when I have ChatGPT?
Oh, okay. Because guess what ChatGPT did? It read for you.
Yeah, they could summarize it for us.
But once again, if there was no one that went to college to feed ChatGPT, it wouldn't know anything.
Coding doesn't exist through college.
Yes,
coding
it does. The majority of coders have college degrees. I have 2 friends that have fucking coding degrees, and they work for like airline companies and make good money. They get degrees because they have to take classes to learn how to code. Not everybody, but a lot of people. There are some, like savants that are crazy hackers and good at everything. But like, those people are just fucking geniuses.
It's through humans and coders.
Where do you think they learned how to code? Most people.
Themselves, they hustle.
No. Okay.
I know coders that code learn it through Google.
Yeah.
There are some, and I never said that there aren't any.
The best ones are from Google.
Okay.
You could Google it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it, bro. How you doing?
Justin.
Alex.
So look, I'm gonna keep it short and simple. It's basically a matter of money isn't everything. It's about your character and what you leave behind. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you don't need college to necessarily make money, fact, but it's a form of completion, like a natural dopamine. You know, in today's society, everything's just like quick, fast, scrolling TikTok. You know, if you
but
go
why
to
not-
college, you complete something. You feel
It's a
better
form.
about
Have you
yourself,
ever won a
something
Warzone game?
to-
That's completion.
What was that?
Have you ever won
Winning
a
a
Warzone
Warzone
game?
game, that's completion.
That's what I'm talking about.
you
That's
ever-
my point right there. You don't want to be like this guy. You know what I'm saying? You want to have
Talk about your
something-
shots, bro.
Why you think?
Dopamine. Don't talk about dopamine. Let's talk about dopamine.
Why you think there's multi-million-dollar basketball players who go and get the degree? They don't need to. They got money, but it's just the fact of having that on paper. You know, completing something. Natural dopamine.
I will say, I think it's like, it gives you a better feeling, I guess. Like, you feel a level of success being like, I have a degree. Like, I put myself through this for 4 years, so now I have, like, a level of accreditation? I can't think of the fucking word. You're accredited or whatever it is. Like, you're an academic.
You could also have all the money in the world, put it all on black, and then that dopamine's the same as getting a stamp. Is it not?
It's probably better.
You don't want to be like him either.
Says you.
Like some sort of like.
I think the world has brainwashed people to think that that's the dopamine you need, so that you have to spend hundreds of thousands to get that dopamine. That's your completion in life. 30 to 50 to whatever money. You
Yeah,
have to spend money to get that
one
dopamine.
of you guys actually said that you go. I think it was you. You said after college you make 20, 30. I don't know nobody that went to college that makes 20, 30,000 a year. That's crazy.
Well, actually, they don't, because they got to pay tax on that, and then they got to pay their college.
No, they get a tax refund on that. If you make $20K a year, you're not paying heavy taxes. You're probably going to end up getting a refund after write-offs and other things too. Like, and even if you did pay taxes, you'd be in like 7%. You'd be in like the bottom federal tax bracket. You wouldn't be paying fucking 39 and a half.
College off still. Usually, they're probably in debt.
I just remember from my particular situation, I didn't even go to college. When I was graduating high school, I looked at it and I did the numbers in my head. Okay, if I wanted to go to ASU, tuition a year is like what, $25,000, $30,000. I complete it, I get my degree, 4 years, 6 figures plus in debt, right? Now I got to graduate and look for a job. Starting salary is going to be a lot.
You can start a business.
Yeah. No, I can't just graduate college and start a business ground up.
I'm gonna agree with him. I think having no input money and starting a business like from ground up, if you need like an actual physical building and rent and loans, is like so stupid. I think if you're starting a business and it's like something online, that's a lot different than if you're like, I'm gonna graduate college, start a business, and then fucking take a $250,000 loan to fucking support that. Like if you fail, you're fucked.
I did.
Maybe I could. It's gonna take years. So I decided, you know what?
That's not true though. I'm not true though. You can start a business.
Well, this is all opinionated then at the end of the day.
No, it's facts. I started my own business.
Yeah. You can start a business, but for it to be profitable and for you to be able to pay back those 6 figures in debt immediately after.
So why can't you go to college and then become a streamer and pay it off?
No,
Same
you
thing.
can't.
You're missing my point. It was the completion of the.
You can. It's just why would you do that when you could dedicate more time to that craft? Why would I take?
You don't need to. You don't need to. I think being a streamer that streams 10 hours a day is its own niche, but it's not required. Like Queso streams 96 hours a month. Queso streams part-time. Like Queso doesn't do 8-hour streams a day. Queso streams fucking 20 hours a month or 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week. Like, and he's one of the most successful streamers on the platform. You don't need to be doing like you. I stream a little bit more than Queso, but it's like the same thing. When I was in college, I was streaming 4 hours a day.
Take away from being able to give 100% to this. If I'm in college trying to study, get my degree, go to class,
You would have missed out on
learn,
MW2, MW3,
I would have
everything.
been.
I think you can balance it. Maybe not everybody. I think it's scheduling, man. I've been saying the same fucking thing. I think saying, oh, I have to divert all my focus to this thing instead of that. Do it both at once. And if you do it both at once and you succeed, bro, that shit is like fucking crack. Being able to fucking do both at once and fucking get it done.
And 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
You would have missed it. Tell him.
What's
If he went to college, talk about it, bro. All the games you would have missed, all the clips.
Yeah.
It's not easy, though. Life isn't easy. College isn't easy. Streaming, getting a job isn't easy. Your point? Like, it's not easy, though. Yeah, really? Neither is college, right? If your response to what I just said is it's not easy, though, then being a dropout or not doesn't matter. Because you're not going to have the drive to fucking gain a level of success. If you get turned away from things because they're hard, you're not going to approach them or try to actually succeed in those job fields. If you only take the easy route, you're always going to be stuck in the 9-to-5 race. Not 9-to-5 race in terms of like, you know, like making good money. I'm saying you're going to be in the lower half of earners.
When I've been able to I probably wouldn't hit my standoff window shot.
And I'm not sitting here saying I have like some great level of expertise, but I could tell you getting a lot of money and getting a job that makes a lot of money or a business that makes a lot of money isn't easy, right? Like some people might be like, oh, it's easy. But those people are either A, lucky, or B, put so much success or grind into other shit that in perspective it seems easy.
For what I do particularly, college just didn't seem important. How many of you in here have a degree that you use every single day now for what your job is?
They gon' both.
All of you?
It's Cap. There's Cap right there.
She's lying. She's lying.
She's lying like
I'm not gonna lie, he's lying too. I can just tell.
Stop. What's your degree
I
in?
have a bachelor's in entertainment business.
And does that apply to your everyday life?
Yeah, I did music for a while. Yeah, definitely.
And did you need that degree to do what you do today?
I feel like it helped me. Yeah.
So you made music?
No,
you said?
it helped you,
Yeah.
or yes or no. Like, did
Yes.
you need that degree?
Need? Not necessarily, but it made me feel better about myself completing that and then going out and doing whatever I wanted to do. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily
on
about
that.
just college. You can
Yeah.
it's something you can stand on. Like, yeah, I stand on that. I did that. You know? I could be a content creator. I did this, but I also did this. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Millionaires, football players, basketball players, go and get their degrees all the time. They don't need it. It's just,
Yeah, it's not something
Statement.
everyone can say. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If I went to college, I would have missed out on Prime Fortnite. I would have missed out on COVID.
You would have been working.
I would have missed out on
Bro, like, are they thinking that, like, college, if you go to college, you just have no life for 4 years? Like, you would just be fucking locked in on school 7 days a week, fucking 12 hours a day.
COVID viewership. You have no clue about COVID viewership.
I don't want to know about COVID. What is that?
You'd
You
probably
wouldn't
be
have known
flipping
about
burgers.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
would.
COVID really sparked a lot of people's streaming careers.
Wouldn't have been live. I wouldn't have been live for any of that, and I wouldn't have a job.
What are you doing? I agree, yeah. Most successful people in the world, some of the most innovative people who have had the biggest impacts on the world are college dropouts.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right, bro.
I think that's cherry picking, though.
But what college does is it builds a foundation of like discipline. You know what I'm saying? And it helps you build structure. Like how you was asking about, like, do you use the degrees now? I don't use my degrees now, but college, it helped me like build a foundation, a structure, discipline that I use like in everyday life. You know what I'm saying?
Like, say you grew up
Yeah, I think it's like the same thing where it like gives you skills to balance certain things.
playing sports and you played for a sports team regularly. That would also have the same impacts of instilling discipline and structure and certain morals like it would in college.
Definitely it would. But then you would use those skills that you have in playing the sports. You want to take that to the next level in college too, though, right?
If you could,
then, yeah, and then that would build a base for you going to the professional level, helping you with like your finances, everyday life, you know what I'm saying? Morality, structure, how to build a foundation with your family. So basically stuff like that, bro.
2025, college and going that traditional route of getting educated like that is outdated, and you could get, if you really wanted to, you could learn a lot of the curriculum you're taught in college online if you research enough. Whatever it is you want to do in life, you could go online and teach yourself it and look it up rather than paying money to go to a college and get educated through a professor and giving them money, unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. Pretty much everything else.
You don't
though,
even need
I
a
feel
degree
like
for those either.
You can teach yourself.
Lacey, shut the fuck. Lacey, I never in my life would I take advice from a self-proclaimed doctor with no degree. If I had to go get surgery and the guy was like, "Don't worry, I'm self-taught, ChatGPT," I'd go, "What?" And you're about to knock me the fuck out and perform surgery.
Definitely, man. You definitely got a point right there, bro. You definitely right on there.
How you doing, Alex?
Nice to meet you. Through all the points, I realized that we haven't talked about the act of resistance it is to get a degree and to go to college. For a lot of Black and brown communities and people, college wasn't an option. So to get a degree is an act of resistance. And I'm an activist myself, so I do community work. And I got a degree and I went to college because the government, like, quite honestly, institutions, like, I wanted to have knowledge and bring it back to my community.
So you went to college because you disagreed with someone else, not for yourself.
I went to college in a perspective that wasn't forced upon me by like colonial structures, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying. You're saying that throughout history, people of Black, brown, different cultures, they weren't allowed, they weren't provided the luxury of being able to get a college degree. That was essentially.
Well, she's saying like by her and other people in minorities getting degrees in a, I guess, mass movement amount, then it kind of evens that field where minorities were at a disadvantage, and it helps bring them up as a group in general without the need or help from the government.
It kept from them.
They weren't even considered citizens.
Yeah, and so now in 2025, it's like a you.
It's like
I
don't think we disagree with that.
Which I agree with. Yes, I'm not sitting here arguing with that. That's that's fully understandable.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay, I guess I wanted to bring up the point in like perspective of like privilege and even access to the internet. You talked about a lot about like chat GTP. I promise you, I come from a community there. I didn't grow up with internet. Kids who want to become streamers in tribal communities and villages, and they cannot because they don't have internet.
I do know people who are from tribes in Africa, actually, who's artists who are on the internet.
Sorry, I meant in the context of like, I mean, you guys stream here and you know, you have an economy here. So like college here, attending college in the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, they might not be able to because they're in a whole different outside world. Yeah, but if you're in the United States and you have the opportunity to go to college, you should go to college then if that's what your choice is. Is that what you're saying?
But I thought you're saying that
But
college
you're saying
is
that's
like
your
obsolete.
choice. No, we were saying it's obsolete if you want to get to the career path like that we wanted to do, but you're saying
Oh, like become a streamer and such?
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned not everyone has the privilege of internet connection or access to internet. What advice would you give someone who wants to be a streamer and make money?
I don't know if I'm agreeing with her point because she's saying not everybody has access to internet, but wouldn't you assume that the people that generally don't have access to internet also wouldn't have access to higher education? Like if you live in an area where you're physically incapable of streaming because you couldn't even stream in like 480p, you probably don't live in an area that has an accredited university.
Like you guys, but they don't have access to the internet.
I don't understand what she's saying.
if you don't have access to the internet, how do you know about us?
We don't. Well, that's
So that's my point. So
Well,
What the fuck are we talking about right now? Oh my God, I have no idea what point is being made. I have no idea what point is being made.
Your reality.
How would I give them advice?
Obviously, people go to school, but like when they go home, they don't have internet. It's like
But
it's
they
like at
wouldn't
your
know
home.
who I am then. How am I going to give them advice if they don't?
Places, libraries have internet.
I don't go to
School
libraries.
has internet. Well, if they were to, if you know you're popping like you say, they're gonna find you on the internet when they use it.
I know, but that kind of goes against what you just said.
You're saying what advice would I have to someone who doesn't have access to the internet
Yes.
if they want to become
I don't
a
have that
streamer?
answer.
It's almost an
It's
impossible
the same advice you give to someone who does. Chase your dreams.
It's almost impossible to answer that question. That's like saying, what advice would I give to someone who has hoop dreams, who wants to be an NBA, but there's no basketball courts around them. There's no
Yeah.
basketballs. It's almost, it's like a, it's
No,
like a,
it's just
it's
the way
like
the
an
world
oxy-
works.
it's like an
I think you're still,
oxymoron.
I agree with FaZe on this. I don't know what the fuck she's asking. I think it's I think that was a purposeless question.
So in 2025, yeah, I think the internet has rendered college obsolete. Like, it's just, you don't need to do it.
That's a
You don't need
rendered
to go.
obsolete.
Oh, what the? That's a
He's rendered obsolete.
Yeah, I bet none of y'all know
That's
those
a
words.
two-piece. That's a two-piece
That's
right there.
crazy.
And I didn't even go to
Define
college.
those words.
I didn't even go to college.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Okay then. How you feel about it?
How do I feel about what?
That college essentially is obsolete in 2025.
It's useless.
I mean, it is online, so it's not completely obsolete. The online thing, it detaches you from people. So you're just looking at a screen, learning by yourself, and that's.
I would say, if anything, college is even less obsolete than it was previously, because the reason college is kind of required is because we don't live in an area where you can get like factory work anymore. Like, the U.S. was built on a lot of factory jobs, and the majority of people during the American Dream times were working, 9 to 5s when they were pushing for 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours for rest. And they were working in a lot of, like, I guess, manufacturing, and those jobs are always steady and can do things. All those jobs are offshore. So if you live in the United States now and you want to get a good job that pays you good money, either A, you start a business, B, you get a college degree, or 3, you're an entrepreneur and you're investing or getting some weird opportunity. Like, those are usually the options that you're going down, or you go into trade school. And I think, like, nobody's even mentioned that anymore. Why have they not mentioned that? Am I crazy? I feel like that's like a big counterpoint for FaZe is like, don't go to college, become an electrician. Work in the union, make fucking $80K a year at like a good peak in your salary. Yeah, you're not going to be able to retire early, but you'll have a steady job. You'll be able to take time off. You'll have vacations. Like, you're still getting, I think it's because it's not college, but it's still like you're going to, you're not just getting a job. Like, would that count as school? Like, trade school isn't college, but it's still school. Like, it's still after high school learning. Like, you still have to go do shit. Like, you have to take classes.
But loneliness is so high now. So you say you have your friends, but how do you really feel? Because you guys are defining success.
Over half of American adults, 57%, report feeling lonely, with younger generations higher levels of loneliness despite being more digitally connected.
As having all these millions of dollars, for me, success is being happy. It's having real joy and actually respecting people. Yes, so yes, you do need money, obviously, but I'm talking about internally. How are you, though? I'm not talking about success just by counting your money. You can count money all day you want, but I'm actually happy.
Yeah.
I actually measure success by having joy, happiness, peace of mind, sleeping, clear conscience. That's success.
So what's the topic? Is it mental health?
He's got the same
Is
thing.
it college?
When I was in college, I was
got
depressed.
no, but see,
So the thing is, he's got the same thing, but he's getting money.
Who said I'm not getting money? Who said I'm not getting money? Do I look like I don't have money?
I didn't say that.
Okay then. All right then.
that.
I'm just
Okay.
it was supposed to be talking about college and it turned into a therapy session.
No, because we were talking about success and how successful people, and again, I don't know them personally, but they have a lot of money, but what else do we know about them? A lot of them suffer from mental health. A lot of them even take their lives. Even when they lose their money, they take their lives.
Even people that aren't successful do that, though.
Exactly.
You make the
Exactly.
argument both ways.
We can. So what's your point?
That was my point.
What's your point?
That was my point.
Oh, you still didn't get my point?
I don't. You just said that people who make money take their lives. People who don't make money take their lives.
That's not
Or no,
what I, that's
excuse me.
not
Let me-
what
yeah,
I
let me fix that.
said.
Did you go?
People who go to college take
isn't
their
it-
lives. People who don't go to college.
Did you
take their
go?
lives.
That's not what I
That's
said.
exactly-
You
Did
guys
you-
are not listening.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Did you get your degree?
Yes.
In what?
Sociology. So it's a study of people
Sociology?
and environments. Yes.
And do you work today? Do you have a job?
Yes.
What's your job?
I work at a school.
And does that sociology degree apply to what you're teaching in
Of
school?
course.
Well, yeah, you have to have a college degree to be able to be a teacher.
They require it. I have to give them transcripts. They won't just be like, oh, just come work
Yeah.
here and you don't have anything. No, they won't. You need it.
Do you want to know what's crazy though? Like real talk. When I was 12 years old, 11 years old, and he was my age, because he's like 42. At 22
doesn't
years
look
old,
like-
get this. Get this. He influenced me. That's why I'm here today.
He influenced you
that's
to
real,
do
by the
what?
way.
He influenced you to do what?
When I was a kid, I grew up watching him, and then now I'm a part of the team, and I got
You grew
influenced.
up watching what?
Him. He did YouTube 10
Doing
years
what?
ago.
Doing what?
Living my life, playing Call of Duty, trick shotting, cut comms,
So
FFA,
that
free for all,
inspired
trick
you
shotting.
to do what exactly?
Be like him, and look where I am. I'm making
To try to chase his dreams and turn his passion.
Yeah, bro, but you gotta bring up like there are other fucking 100,000 people that were like, I want to be like FaZe Adapt, and then didn't, like, or failed.
Of making content and playing video games into a.
You know how many people tried to be in FaZe or be like FaZe? Like, if you're around my age, you probably have a friend that tried to enter a trick-shotting clan when they were young. If you are a man in anywhere between 20 and 25, even younger potentially, you probably had a friend during the Call of Duty era that was trying to enter FaZe, submitting clips into Optics, submitting clips into FaZe. They wanted to try out. They entered tourneys. They entered events. They were trying to be stream. They made collab, fucking trick shot videos on YouTube, and they did all that stuff and failed.
Basically, what we're saying is we inspire kids the same way that you do, and we don't even have a degree.
Women too, I know, but I'm saying you got to look at Adapt, and you have to recognize that like 85% of his audience is men.
Facts.
I never said I inspire kids.
You're a teacher.
We teach kids.
You teach kids.
Yeah, but
We
I
teach the
never
same
said
thing.
I inspired kids.
Inspire and teach. I mean, I'm sure you do inspire kids. You know, I'm sure a student, one of your students.
And isn't every person in FaZe a guy? That's why I was mentioning that too. Aren't all the people in FaZe men? That's why, yeah.
Looks at you and is like, oh, I want to be like my teacher. The same way they look at their favorite
Grace. Well, didn't they kick her out?
YouTuber or streamer and want to be like them. But we don't go to college. We didn't go to college for that.
We encourage them not to go to college.
So the majority of people,
encourage
so
them to take that
you
risk.
guys are a very small percentage. The majority of people who drop out don't do well. They have the biggest majority. There is a small percentage that does well, but the majority doesn't. So you guys advise.
I wouldn't say that they don't do well. I would say that they're just not making crazy money. Like, they might still be making, like, a really good salary. They might be making 50, 60K a year, but, like, they're not reaching, 180K. They're not in a high net worth individual range.
People to drop out of college is extremely irresponsible. Because that is exactly my point. Exactly my point. What's so funny? What's so funny?
You gotta take that risk to get that bag. That's all I'm gonna say. I could go if you want me to go.
You take the risk.
I think Ron. I think there's a combo for Ron.
Hi, I'm Viviana. Nice to meet you.
I just feel as if like going back to what we said earlier, why spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a degree when I can Google everything?
Yeah, but it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars if you're not going to a university that costs $60K a year. Like, there's still colleges that don't cost that amount, or you get scholarships or grants and other things to
Every
go.
single thing that I've wanted to know, I can Google it. Why would I need college?
ChatGPT too.
So let's talk about facts.
I looked up.
I have not spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to be an idiot to do that. I'm sorry if somebody did that.
I agree. If you get a 4-year degree and you're leaving college with $200,000 in debt, you're a dumbass. You're a fucking idiot. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm a fucking genius. I'm a dumbass in a lot of ways. But I'm saying, like, if you're 18 and you're like, I'm going to go to fucking Drexel with no scholarship and I'm going to pay $65,000 out of pocket, no grant, no scholarship, and I'm going to get a fucking loan. No.
But that's not what I did.
How much did you spend, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in the 3, 4, 5 digits, but I didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wait, like $100?
No. I'm sorry. Like within 20 to 30.
Okay.
Because I did it the smart way. I
Okay.
didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Like-
so I didn't spend all that money and I'm not in debt. So that argument is obsolete because not everybody's in debt.
She's using your words now.
She's using words that we use. We didn't go to college.
I'm an educator, if anything.
He's
What do you mean?
He's influencing you in live time.
I'm trying to speak as simple as possible for your mind. I'm sorry. I'm really trying.
Okay.
All right.
Let's play that game. Let's do
What
it.
game?
Let's do it.
Oh, why she call you?
Let's do it.
Ron?
Let's do it.
What game?
So you,
I don't
so
play,
you,
I'm not playing no game.
so you
What
spent
game are
30.
you
So you spent
talking
$30,000. Let's just say, just so in
Let's
easy
just
terms.
say, I don't remember the number, but it was between that.
Okay. I didn't spend $1. I looked up ChatGPT. I looked up Section 8 housing. I bought houses now. I got real estate now.
Right, so I know you.
Because you have money now, though, from streaming. You're not buying Section 8 housing and getting money from the government and people for Section 8 housing. For those of you that don't know what Section 8 housing is, by the way, it's basically when there's somebody with low income, they can apply to Section 8 housing, and the government basically pays either for all of it or a portion of the rent for that place that they're staying, right? Like a duplex, a condo, wherever they're at. Ron only had the money to buy those properties because he did streaming. Like, yeah, you're ChatGPTing it after. I don't think if you're getting into real estate, you need to go to college. But, like, if you're going to buy real estate, you need to get money to do that.
Spend something because you have to invest. Where did you get that money? Your mama just gave it to you?
No.
Okay, then what happened? How
She
did you
gave
get the
me
money?
she gave me $300. I flipped it. To about a couple grand off Yeezys.
That does
You know what I'm
not
saying?
sound realistic.
What? That's called hustling. You're right. You're right.
You know what's crazy is I knew they were gonna do that. The second she sat down, I was like, they're gonna say some shit.
Well, you didn't ask my name first, so that's like the first thing that you'd ask,
Let's
right?
talk about it. Ron, what's your name?
Angel.
Angel. Not you.
Straight from heaven.
Straight from heaven. Yo, let's talk about it. So
Okay,
what
what are we
made you raise your flag to come in?
I couldn't watch the debate anymore. It was so bad.
So you're gonna be a part of the debate.
Yeah, I'd rather talk.
So let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about?
Probably why college is important and how it's not necessarily the best idea for everybody to just drop out and become a streamer.
So what did you have a degree in?
Dance.
Dance. I can literally dance right now. I got no college degree.
That's awesome. Show me.
She went to school to do this.
You don't need college for that?
Unemployed? No, you need college. You need it. You need to get a degree in dance to get. She's right. Getting hired at like a dance company. You need to get a degree in dance, and then you basically try out after. You have the credibility coupled with the skill in dancing. Like the majority of people that are successful in the dance world have degrees from Juilliard or other like credible fucking arts schools. Same thing with like acting, like the acting and like arts for like performing in plays and stuff. You don't have to get as long of a degree, but y'all remember Gideon from like years ago. I don't really make content with him anymore, but he does plays and stuff now. He got a degree for the arts, like for doing plays and performing. Like you still get degrees for that, and it helps you get jobs.
Look at this.
I love that.
Hey. No college. No college.
You know what? That is phenomenal form. The one thing that I would say is you're kind of hitting the outsides of your femurs a little bit too hard. Honestly, get up on ChatGPT.
Obselaite. If I type that in the iPhone, it's gonna autocorrect. Is it not?
And why does he need to know how to spell that?
Bill Gates. Bill Gates made the iPhone. He dropped out of college. Talk to me.
Come on.
Yep.
That's
You
true.
think Bill Gates knew how to spell obsolete?
He autocorrected
No.
that
Did he just say Bill Gates made the iPhone?
for me. He didn't even go to college.
He personally autocorrected that for you?
He made the phone.
Why do you think that it's not, or it is obsolete, sorry?
What?
College. The whole debate?
Insignificant.
So you think college is insignificant?
Yes, for sure, it's insignificant. Look where I am. I'm proving you. I'm proof in the pudding right now.
Absolutely, and that's why you're making unoriginal content. You're actually copying everybody else's content, doing the
Yes,
same
sir.
video, because you didn't gain the critical thinking skills.
Hey, she the slippery line.
See, that's fine. That's cool.
Here's
That's
the
cool.
fucking song that you made.
And you spent money to learn how to dance. What? Yo, who the real dummy here? Like what? I could make unoriginal content, but I'm still getting the paper.
Who's saying that I'm not getting paid?
You could be getting paid. I'm not saying.
All right, well, you're not making crazy money at dance. You usually get a lot of things covered for you. You can travel the world. It's a really good experience, but you're not like people in the dance world, in the dance industry, like specifically ballet, are making a lot more money in teaching than dancing. Like you can gain popularity, but like you'll make money as a dancer or a dance teacher like at colleges compared to when you're actually in your career. Like your career gives you credibility to where you'll be able to teach people after. You can still make good money, but you're not making like there's not really that many dancers that are making like fucking $500K a year. Like you're probably gonna make like 50, and then you have stuff paid for you.
You're not getting paid.
But you don't dance for the full season. It's kind of like teaching, where you're not usually dancing year round.
Just saying,
getting
you
paid.
coming at like.
What do you do for a living?
She dances.
I'm a professional dancer.
Okay.
I'm also a dance teacher and an educator, and it's pretty important for me to have an anatomical understanding of how the body works in order to actually properly educate my students so that they don't harm themselves like you could when you were showing me your absolutely wonderful dance moves.
Well, I mean, I didn't hurt myself. I'm still here.
Thank
You really think Kai Cenat went to dance school to learn how to get sturdy? Do you think Silky learned how to get sturdy through dance?
All right, I'm skipping the sarcasm.
What is that?
Chains are so small.
This chain?
But they're real though.
This is-
this real around you?
You could still get a
The
chain,
chain
if
is
you went to
small.
college.
This was gifted to me. This was a
Okay,
gift.
so I could get a chain gifted to me and go to college.
But you didn't.
Like,
What if you didn't?
Who's to say that I didn't get gifted a chain? I'm not wearing one right now.
You got a man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tough loss.
My bad. I was just testing the water.
Yeah, of course. Again, you could have tested those water in college.
No, I
but-
couldn't. I couldn't get in. I was at a 2.1 GPA.
Ooh, that's tough. You know, you could.
You know
get
what
in
I'm gonna do,
somewhere.
though?
You could get into college with a 2.1 GPA. College accepts anybody if you're going to the right college. It's just a matter of where you're going to go.
You can find a great college counselor and also look up colleges that have 100% acceptance.
If college is obsolete, why isn't everybody a Twitch streamer? Case closed. Yeah, I agree with that. Like them saying to just be a Twitch streamer, like there would be way too many people flooding that water.
Right.
But
there's
you
a
have
lot
to.
of
You
those.
have to pay. You got to pay books. You got to pay everything.
I mean, you have to pay for everything in this life, right? You have
Exactly.
to pay for like your equipment. You have to pay for this like probably site to rent it, right? So that way you can actually film this
Too
content.
much supply, not enough demand. I think we're reaching that. I think there's a high demand for content, but the amount of people that are getting into streaming TikTok, YouTube is crazy. There's more people watching content than ever, but there's more people making content than ever. And the majority fail.
Content.
Correct.
Everything's an investment. If you think about it that way, you could be like, oh, college costs money, but it's an investment over time.
But
Think
why
about
would I
your own
do that
investments.
investment when I could do other investments that have
Well,
way
that's
more
the
profitability?
choice of your investment,
Yeah,
right?
but again, that's a what if.
But
so it's like again,
everything's a what if. So again,
you're
if
proving
you-
my point. I'm saying that's the whole point. Is like I didn't need to go to college to do my what if. I just did it.
No, the whole point is that college is obsolete and college is not obsolete because there are some people who are going to invest in college and it's actually going to be a greater profit for them over the long term in time.
But
You
can
might
I
go-
fight the argument that that's a chance the same way anyone over here made the argument that, oh, it's a chance that you make it in content creation? It's this.
Dude, they're repeating the same shit. We need to get somebody else on here.
So
What's your ethnicity?
What does this have to do with anything?
He's Indian, I'm Asian.
You Asian, you're Indian.
Sure.
And your parents know that you sit online all day with the camera plugged up to a
My parents know. My parents know that I gave. No. My parents know that I gave them 3 cars, a whole house, and that's about it. They don't need to know.
I retired my
what I do.
mom last
Yeah,
year.
I retired my
Okay,
parents.
and then just one more question. And then y'all talked about the chains. Like, if y'all really had money like y'all claim y'all do, y'all wouldn't be walking
These
around
are
with them
these are
small
called rob me chains. We don't care about these. If you rob me, it's
Yeah,
okay.
this-
I wear
this-
rob me
this
watches.
This is gifted. Yeah, I don't. Really
It's
care
called
about
rob me
this.
chains.
You're saying if we had money for real, we would wear it on our body?
Well, y'all say y'all have the cars, the houses.
If
Like,
you want, we could go band for band.
we can.
Well, not just
You
a
wanna go
car.
everywhere? We can do that.
Not
We
just
can
a
do
car.
that.
Multiple cars.
What's that?
Because
My
what-
car's in the shop actually.
What makes y'all feel like we don't got money? What makes y'all feel like that? Because y'all really do.
I mean, she might have money, but like I would bet that there's maybe 1 or 2 people sitting around them that have more money than any of the phase guys.
You feel like, because y'all keep saying money, like, y'all really feel like we don't got no money.
Let's go band for band.
Go band for band with them.
You want to
I
open
can
Chase?
show you my bank account too.
Let me open my brokerage and you open your bank account.
Okay, we could do that.
Let's do that.
Let's get serious.
This is just one account.
Hold on, I got.
I don't want to be in this clip.
Because you don't got no money for a
I don't got no money. No, I
just showed
can't.
you
That's
my
crazy.
account.
Okay, wait, hold
Show
on.
my
I gotta update my Charles
You don't
Schwab.
even have the app.
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh my God.
Come here.
Listen, let me update my Charles Schwab account.
Well, firstly, after listening this whole time to all 4 of you, my brain is just rotting.
You went to college
you wanna
20
go
years
band for
ago,
band?
First of
bro.
all, I graduated college in 2018.
Damn.
USC 4.0.
Holy.
Thank you.
Damn, is that true?
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Wait till y'all find out. He doesn't use his degree.
Wait, hold on. Actually, I do use my degree.
What do you use
No,
it in?
I do use my degree because you're.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Let me explain something. When I went to 4 years of college, graduating communication, public speaking, I'm a streamer. How do you think I learned how to speak to an audience?
You RP on GTA. What are you
Hold on, but that's
talking
one.
about?
You play DJ sets in your room by yourself.
You didn't know how to communicate before you got a degree that says communications on it?
So, and by the way, you look at the way you look, and you can't even process your thoughts. What are you even talking about?
You keep
I'm
saying
literally
that.
listening to you.
No, but go
What are you talking about?
He said he needed a degree to do a Jakura watch party.
You went to college to do Jakura watch parties, bro.
Hold on, did you go to
You're a
college?
goat, man.
Did you go to college?
I did.
And you,
for
and
2
you
years.
dropped out, right?
I did.
Okay, tell me about your college experience.
I cheated in all my classes. I didn't
Okay.
really learn anything.
Well, that's your fault, though. Like, that's... Oh, my God. Like, if you go to college and even if you drop out or graduate and you're like, yeah, I cheated the whole way, and you go out and you're like, I didn't learn shit. Well, yeah, that's because you didn't try.
And are you guys proud?
Everybody cheats? I think everybody cheats in specific areas, but if you're cheating on your major requirements, that's like whack.
Of that?
Yes.
You are.
Yes,
Why?
because it
Because
got me
I
to
got
where
out of
I am
high
today.
school. I got a degree out of high school. I have my principal's phone number.
Where are
He
your
let
morals?
me cheat.
And where are your morals? Why is everything about
Why-
money?
so why-
And why do you base success on how much money you make?
No one said that. No one said that. I'm successful
Really?
in
It,
many ways.
it sounds like that's what you guys are basing everything off.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
Her point being, the point of life is to be happy, right? All right, what'd you say again?
You already forgot.
Something about being happy, all right? College made me depressed, okay? Because it prevented me from pursuing my dreams of becoming a streamer.
That was your dreams.
And now he's a W streamer.
Yes, and now I
That
get
was your
spam
dreams, or is
W's
it 'cause
every
you
single
So
day.
many W's in the chat every day.
So let me tell you guys something.
Yeah, but hasn't Jason literally had, like, times where he says he doesn't like on stream, he'll just be like, I'm getting burnt out.
About these 4 individuals right here, I know them very well. See,
And I have nothing against these guys. Like, I've met the phase guys. I fuck with the phase guys. But I'm just like, I feel like there's got to be moments where even then they're like, there's no way they're just happy all the time doing streaming.
everything they're doing here is this: they want to make everyone here angry. There's no meaning behind the words they're saying. That is, see, as a human being,
No,
I
I
can't live
truly
like
believe that college is bullshit.
that. Live like that. No, because college teaches you a sense of responsibility.
No, I actually believe that.
What do you mean?
I actually believe college is the most useless thing ever.
Yeah.
I
You
truly
do?
believe that.
Okay,
Yeah.
why?
I've given that whole point throughout the whole time.
I didn't like any of your points.
That's
so
your
then that's
opinion.
your opinion.
Well,
I
yeah,
actually
it's your opinion, but
That's also your opinion.
yeah, I mean, it's just like.
But they like all the people that they use, like they have absurd amounts of money, and all the people that are around them that foster that money, like their accountants, their investors, right, their financial managers, the people that get them deals, like even their regular managers, like the people that work for them generally. all those guys have degrees. So like, if you're saying college is the most useless thing in the world, if all the people surrounded around you listened to your words, never got degrees, you would have no one to help prop you up in the money that you have. You wouldn't be able to foster money when your taxes come around. You wouldn't be able to have these financial opportunities or be able to get all these fancy cars because all the people that have made those things possible got degrees to be able to get the knowledge to do those things. Degrees are needed in society. You could say that a college degree isn't worth it for you, but it's needed for society in general because if everybody just stopped going to college, then the world would be a hell of a lot dumber. Not because college is needed for intelligence, but because college is needed to learn expertise in specific fields to prop up society in certain ways. And if you don't have people doing that, society crumbles. You need people that don't get degrees, and you need people that do get degrees. You need a mixture of both. College is needed. It's just something that may not be worth it for everybody.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you're very successful.
My mom couldn't afford college for me. So if I went to college, I would have been in debt, and then I would have put her in debt. Then I would have had to find a job, and then I have to pay off the debt. Yeah, but guess what? I didn't go the business route. If I went the college route, I would have been in debt. My mom would have been in debt, probably still till right now. Instead, she's living in a house paid off, free, retired, living the life. She has her car paid off, house paid off. She's chilling. She's catching a vibe right now.
Did you pay for college?
Originally, well, no, I had a loan.
Did you, or did your parents pay?
No, I had a loan. I paid for it.
Okay.
Like, by the way, how most every single person
So how did
does.
you pay off that loan? How'd you pay off the loan?
Well, I paid it off through my career in content creation and
Exactly.
and investing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
But-
Next
but-
person.
No. You wasted money.
But he never would have had the success in content creation he had if he had never gone to college because he would have never been where he was. And they could make the same argument that because they didn't go to college, they have the same success that they did. But Kaysen's sitting in a certain position where if he never had gone to USC, he had never done any of that, he probably would have never either started social media or gotten to the level of success he did because he would have been an entirely different person.
But I got here through content.
He was in phase before college. Okay, but still, that level of success, like college changes you as a person. Your life experiences, not even college in general, change you as an individual. To say that he didn't need that is like, yeah, true. But in hindsight, if he had never had that, he would be a different person.
In creation through school, though.
Oh, school taught you how to press go live and read a chat? No.
Did your school teach you how to put on Chrome Hearts?
No.
I think for me, I don't know. This is my final thoughts because we're at the end of the fucking video. I think for me, college was very useful for social media. I don't think it was required, but I think it made me a better individual morally and also just, psychologically. I think obviously college for me is something that I use because I have a literal channel that's dedicated towards the degree that I got, but a lot of people don't have that. So I don't know. I think there's a middle ground. I'm not going to keep yapping. End of video. Let's move on. What happens when you win the lottery?
You just won the lottery. Congrats. You're f***ed. If you're lucky enough to survive all the lawsuits, betrayals, and murder attempts you're about to face, you might just live long enough to go bankrupt. If you want...
I think ideally you win a lottery at like 1 mil. Because most people that win like Mega Millions or what's the other one that's not Mega Millions? There's like 2 big lotteries that like surpass $1 billion usually. It's Powerball. Mega Millions and the Powerball. Those two will like actively surpass hundreds of millions of dollars for the individual. And yeah, they take the lump sum and they only get like 40 or 50% of it. But even then, most people that get that amount of money, I think it ruins their lives because most people that win don't have a lot of money. And then when they get it, they blow it all and then go broke. So I think for a general like middle class American, even lower class American that's buying like Powerball and Mega Million tickets, like I'm surprised Denise Rossi went broke at 1.3 mil. I think if you inherit $1 million at that like, monetization bracket, you're able to use it in a smart manner. I would say not financial advice, but what I would do, if I ever won the Powerball, I would immediately drop off the face of the earth. Number one. I would donate, 40% of it because who the fuck needs $500 million? And then I would hire a group of 10 people to tell me what to do with that money. I would get a team like I'm a billionaire. And then I would be like, hey, what do I do? Because I think most people, they get $500 million and then they go, I'm going to personally manage this money. Because that's what they do with their own finances, making 40, 50K a year. But that's not what you should do when you have $500 million. Most people that have that amount of money, unless you're like Warren Buffett, have a team of people that just manage it.
Working out, listen carefully. The first thing you need to do is absolutely nothing. Don't tell anyone, don't quit your job or drop out of school, don't buy a GT3 RS, and don't claim.
Okay, but you can't not tell anyone, all right? Because they're gonna know, you know? Say tomorrow I win the Powerball. And then I just like move stream rooms again. And this time I'm in an LA mansion. And you're like, that's weird. You would be like, did you come into like $50 million out of nowhere? Or like, I make good money, but not that money. Like that'd be, like, people would question you. Like say any of you guys won the Powerball and then the next day you like pull up to school in a Lamborghini. You didn't tell anybody you won the Powerball, but they're going to be questioning you.
Most places will give you a few months to grab your check. Let's just say you won in California, which gives you 180 days. We're going to use this to our advantage, but in the meantime, it is absolutely and utterly imperative that you do not lose your ticket. This actually happened to 7 people. 3 of them didn't survive. Take your ticket and sign the back of it, photocopy it, take selfies with it, record a video with it, put it in a waterproof, fireproof box, then take that box to the bank and put it in a safety deposit box. Now that your ticket's hopefully secure, we need to use this time to prepare a few things. First, we need to hire a professional. I watched
Oh my God, this is smart. He's saying before you even cash it, get a guy. Who do you go to though? Like what would I Google? I've come into $500 million. Who do I hire to help me manage this money? Like, I don't think you're going to be able to go to like your local accountant and be like, hey man, what do I do? Saul Goodman? Yeah, that's a Chat GPT question. I'm gonna ask Chat GPT right now. Hold up. Chat GPT. Congratulations, that's life-changing money. The Powerball is a massive event. Here's what you should do. Don't tell anyone. Don't post it online. The few people who know are better. Sign the ticket, make copies, assemble a professional team, claim the money, and take the lump sum or annuity, which you get over 30 years. Claim anonymously if possible. Lay low for a year. Set up a budget and protect yourself. Oh my God. Bro, this sounds terrible. Okay, so you just like lose everybody you know. Like you're just like, okay, now I'm rich, but I can't speak to anyone ever.
A few lottery news segments and found you this guy, Jason Kurland. He's a self-described lottery lawyer that charges $200K up front and a $50K monthly fee. That might sound like a lot, but for legal protection, money management, and tax shielding, this is actually a steal. Plus, you won the $200 million Powerball, so $200K is only 1,000th of your winnings. Now that you have Jason on your team, he's gonna prepare your banking and investment accounts. And of course,
Buddy needs to clip his nails.
He won't withdraw any money without your written consent. But in your very first meeting, he gives you some bad news. See, the first rule of winning the lottery is to always stay anonymous. But most places won't let you do this. California requires the public disclosure of the winner's full name. And no, a trust won't help you. You're getting fully doxxed, and we need to prepare for that. But first, your phone rings. It's your boss telling
I feel like you would have to move states. You would have to move states.
you off for being late to work. Resist the urge to show up to the office with an AR-15 and instead put in a 2-week notice. Leaving on bad terms would just give your coworkers an excuse to sue you. Now back to concealing your identity. Delete your social media, get a new phone number, make a new email, and change your primary address to a PO box. This should help prevent strangers.
Bro, you really think randos would fuck with you that much if you won the Powerball? No. You know what I never get? Whenever they're like, this 7-Eleven's where the winning Powerball was sold. Look, the line's out the window. Are these people fucking stupid? They always say the lottery's a tax on idiots. Holy shit. You going to the fucking store that printed the fucking winning Powerball ticket? Bro, it's a random number generator. It just prints random numbers. It's not your odds of winning here. Oh, yeah, me and my husband drove 4 hours to this 7-Eleven to get our winning Powerball. We're spending our monthly paycheck here. You guys are dumbasses. Because what the fuck are you doing?
An even bigger threat might just be your own family. This guy right here won $20 million, and he used it wisely, starting up a successful gourmet popcorn shop and helping out his...
See, that's like a common rich people thing to do. I mean, that's good that it's successful. It's a common rich people thing to do, to be like, I'm going to open a restaurant. Talk about you're going to blow all the money you've ever made, dude. 60%, isn't it like 60% of restaurants fail within the first 5 years? Well, I'm going to open my own burger joint. Yeah, great idea. I'm going to have a niche coffee shop. It's going to be a little nook. You're going to be able to sit and read.
9 years later, he was murdered by his sister-in-law. If you don't keep your family in check...
What?
Loved ones. 9 years later, he was murdered by his sister-in-law. If you don't keep your family in check, you might end up getting killed. Or even worse, divorced. So here's the plan. You decide right now the
you take half of $149 million.
exact amount you want to dedicate for family and make a trust for it. Once you fund this trust with a portion of your winnings...
See, here's the problem is like you win the Powerball. Would you want to give money to your friends and family? Like, I would want to, like, help people out, you know? Like, I do, like, charitable stuff now, but, like, if you come into, like, $500 million, you'd be like, I want to, like, help people out. But then, like, where do you draw that line? You know? Like, who's close enough to get money? Because I have, like, a group of friends, but say I give them all, like, $1 million. There's going to be, like, 10 other people that show up that are like, hey, remember me? And I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, well, about that. I think more realistically, you know what you should do? You win $500 million. Don't give your friends anything, but just like pay for them to go on annual trips with you. Is that better? I feel like be like, yo, I'm not going to give you money, but like take 2 weeks off and I'll pay for a $30,000 trip like every 6 months, you know? Like we'll go on a run. Like you pay for something for them that's an experience, but you don't like give them money. Cause then, you know, then you get into the shit where it's like, say you give your friend $1 million and then he loses it and he knows you have 500 mil. Then he's gonna be like, hey man, I know you gave me $1 million, but like I kind of lost that. Like that's gonna be a situation that you encounter. So I feel like then you're getting in that hellhole. This is making me realize that winning the Powerball is like a fucking curse. This sounds terrible.
Jason will take it over. So when your family members come begging, you could just tell them you're not in charge of the money. Let Jason be the bad guy. After a few weeks of preparation and sleepless nights, it's finally time for you to claim your ticket. But here is where a lot of people mess up. The lottery press conference is where you'll be presented with the world's largest stimulus check in front of a horde of reporters who are snapping and publishing nice clean photos of your face right next to the reward for killing you. It's gonna be an exciting event. I mean, look how happy this guy is. He just won $1 million. He doesn't know it yet, but 1 month after taking this photo, he's gonna mysteriously die of cyanide poisoning. No suspect was ever found. In unrelated news, these two women inherited all of his winnings. In completely unrelated news,
yeah, I feel like that's a little. I feel like if you get killed, it's your family. Surely, if you get killed, it's your family. Because if like some rando kills you, they're not inheriting your money or your friends. Like if they're not in your will, it would be like your direct descendants.
This woman prepared the last meal he ate before he died. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the press conference might not be optimal for you. Luckily, there are some genius tactics you can use to reduce its potential.
$2 billion? Oh my God. What?
Renting a car will stop people from tracking your license plate. Wearing a disguise will lower your profile as long as it's not ridiculous enough to go viral. But the smartest way to handle your press conference is by not going. You're not required to show up for your media appearance. The massive check with your name on it will still get put on the news, you just won't.
Dude, Edwin Castro's a fucking genius. Edwin Castro's a fucking goat. Very common name, I feel, too. I'm doing that then? Yeah, you just not pulling up?
Instead, you'll go to the lottery office without any cameras and quietly grab your normal size check. But as you hold the piece of paper that's about to change your life, the first thing you'll notice is that the amount is a lot lower than you expected. See there?
Yeah, because you get a lump sum. Annuities they always say annuity is not what you should do. Annuity is a safer bet to where you won't blow all your money, because annuity is basically like, hey, you're going to get the full amount, but you're going to get it over 30 years in increments. But if you take a lump sum, you're going to get taxed the shit out of it, and you're going to get a cut But like, say you get $1 billion, you'll probably walk away with like 300 or 400 million. But like that money, if invested correctly, would be way more than if you took annuity. But annuity is like, hey, I feel like I'm going to blow the money, then just take annuity.
There are 2 ways to claim your prize when you win the lottery. If you want the full advertised amount, you need to take the annuity, which means your prize gets paid out over the course of 29 years.
Chad, are y'all taking annuity or are you doing the lump sum?
But you took your prize in the more popular lump sum, where you get all the money at once, but it'll be just around half of the total jackpot. On top of that, since you won in the US, you're getting taxed. But don't worry about this, because the authorities have already withheld all the taxes you owe from your check. Just kidding. They've withheld some of your taxes, but way less than what you actually owe them. Luckily, Jason has an accountant on his team who can guide you through the how much do you owe the government death trap. So after factoring in the lump sum and taxes, your jackpot has gone from 200 million to a measly 70. I guess it'll have to do. But before you even cash your check, your phone starts blowing up. All of the friends and family that have your phone number are asking if you're the mysterious winner. Remember, the public only has your name, but not your face. You can tell some people you really trust, but be careful. Maybe even use an NDA. Now, it's finally time to make your deposit. After your check settles, you'll see more money in your bank account than you even thought was possible. Hopefully, you're using a larger bank and not a credit union where your checking account would probably be worth more than all of their assets combined, but even with a massive institution holding your money, you still have a problem. Only 250,000 of your dollars are insured. But how risky actually?
And put it all in Dogecoin. Put it all in Dogecoin. Keep that shit locked up to the moon. It's gonna hit $1. Everybody's gonna invest, and then you rug that shit.
Well, ever since 2008, uninsured depositors only lost money in 6% of US bank
Hawk Tuah coin. Does Hawk Tuah coin still exist? Can I still invest in Hawk Tuah coin?
failures. And large banks like Chase or Wells Fargo are designated as systemically important financial institutions. AKA, they have the US government as their sugar daddy, so it would take a lot for—
Yeah, they're not gonna fall apart. Why Wells Fargo and JP Morgan, though?
Well, ever since 2008, uninsured depositors only lost money in 6% of US bank failures, and large banks like Chase or Wells Fargo are designated as systemically important financial institutions, aka—
Yeah, but that's a problem with banks too, is they'll loan out so much money and fuck themselves to where if they ever get screwed, the government has to bail them out or the US citizens are just fucked. Like, they're too big to fail.
They have the US government as their sugar daddy, so it would take a lot for them to go under. Chances are you'll be fine, but still, you should move this money somewhere else. It's time to hit up Jason to fund your trusts and investments. Let's give him $40 million to manage for you, and with a conservative 6% return, this will be making you $200K a month. You could put $10 million into your family trust, and now you have $20 million in pure spending power. So let's get down to business. First, you need a new house. I say go with this $10 million LA mansion. It's got a master bedroom where you'll wake up—
I'm not moving to LA. Oh, I'm not moving to LA. Fuck LA. Fuck LA. Fuck that shit. If I'm moving to Cali, I'm moving to San Diego, bitch. That's where I'm going. San Diego. Yeah. Not going to fucking LA. No. That shit's ass. Traffic. Annoying ass fucking people. Oh my god.
The beautiful ocean views, a 500-bottle wine cellar, an infinity pool, and a movie theater.
Way better weather too. Oh yeah, it's not hot as shit. You're on the water. Well, I mean, you're on the water in LA too, but it's like, ugh.
But one thing's missing. That's better. Any toy you ever wanted is now yours. Your dream watch, your dream fit, your dream grocery haul. Being a lottery winner is awesome. You're also starting to realize why rich people live longer than poor people. Not only can you now afford any medical procedures you want, but you even have a private doctor. You pay them $20K a year to be on call for whatever you need. You also get a—
Bro, I really want to start getting that. I saw Joe Rogan talk about this one time, and I don't know if it was him or the guy he had on that said they did it. I want to get to the point where I could just pay somebody to do a body scan every year. Do my prostate. Fucking give me a MRI, a brain scan, do my blood work, fucking just run everything. Just check me out. See what's going on, you know? I feel like now you get so many— I got to go to a dermatologist, then I got to go to a fucking blood guy, or not a blood guy. I got to go get my blood work, then I got to go to my GP, then you got to go to your dentist. I'm like, I just want to go to one dude, one group of people. Do one thing in one day, just a medical day. I walk out. I walk out of the doctor's office, my ass is loose. I'm like, lethargic. They ran every test on me they could. I got a colonoscopy, a prostate exam, blood work, MRIs. I'm glowing green. I walk
Celebrity
out.
fitness trainer for $300 a session, and of course a private chef to keep your diet perfect. But even more important,
$80K a year for a private chef. Holy fuck. I've seen like private chef videos on like how their job is day to day. I'll watch YouTube videos on that. And bro, they'll like live in the house with the person. I'd be like, I don't want to be friends with you. Be like, go cook somewhere else and then bring it to me. That's what I would want. Like, yo, and this isn't even like lottery winners. You know how like rich people will have like maids that live in house in like a guest home still on property? When I was in middle school, I knew a guy. Here we go. I knew a guy, very rich, right? His dad owned like a bunch of businesses. They had a maid and a nanny, and the nanny would take us everywhere. I was at his house, and we're watching TV, and the maid is in the other room vacuuming. And I'm like, this random lady is in your house. And it's not like she comes here once a week. She lives here. No, I don't want that. Why would I ever, would you guys want that? Like, she lives there. Like, lives in, like, not in a home. It's like a side home. No, I would not want that.
not having to worry about bills, work, or housing, and having the free
I would get, like, once a week they come in when you're not there.
time to hang out with friends or take a midday nap has vastly improved your overall well-being.
Chef, I'm doing that immediately. Yo, on God. I love cooking, but I hate meal prepping. I love cooking when I'm like, oh, I'm going to make myself a nice meal. When I have to, like, meal prep and it's, like, 1 a.m. and I'm, like, fucking sauteing asparagus, I'm like, dude.
But then you get a call from Jason that changes everything. See, he helped you buy your house using a trust to keep you anonymous, but internet detectives have somehow managed to trace the ownership back to you. On top of that, news reporters have been silently taking stalker shots of you on your daily routine, and all of a sudden, your face and your address are front page news. Your phone immediately starts blowing up, except this time, it's not just your friends and family, it's strangers. You start getting hundreds of letters in the mail. People are telling you their life stories, how all they need is 10 grand, 5 grand. Someone even shows up to your house. I think it's time for you to hire some bodyguards before things start getting worse. And by
I feel like you should hire bodyguards immediately. Just be like, yeah, anybody that comes up, shoot them.
worse, I mean you might get killed. It's kind of a rite of passage for lottery winners. This guy won 30 mil, then got buried in his business partner's backyard. He won the Brazilian lottery, then got kidnapped while on a walk. His house got broken into, and he was shot to death in front of his
Over 400K? Like, that's not even retirement money, though. You're getting like 200K post-tax. What? That's like, yeah, that's like a fucking 6-year salary, but yeah, it's a lot of money, but that's not, I don't think that's like murder money.
But you have one advantage over all these unlucky winners, your location. Most of these tragic fates happened in not so great neighborhoods. You, on the other hand, are in a $10 million LA mansion.
Oh yeah, like a gated neighborhood.
Surrounded by people who are familiar with money. Hopefully this will protect you from any real danger and allow you to peacefully live the high life. But what your mansion can't hide you from are your relationships.
Friends are going to come out of the woodwork. Family that they never knew they had. Everyone's going to be asking for handouts.
Friends? I lost just about all my friends from New York.
When you win, everybody you know thinks they won too.
You have to manage to—
Wow. Oh my God. No. That's so ass. Everybody's like, yeah. I mean, that's also like, don't you think that's kind of like shitty friends though, too? Like, if your friend wins the lot, I mean, like, maybe you'd be, like, expecting, like, hey, they'll take us on a vacation. But if you're, like, if my friend, I mean, I'm also in a good financial situation, but, like, say your friend wins money. I'm not like, oh, I expect them to give me some. At most, I'd be like, yo, they're going to take us on a vacation. Like, you'll pay for my trip.
Say no to these people. It's gonna make you feel guilty, but the truth is, if you gave everyone money that asked for it, you wouldn't have anything left.
Oh my God, literally experienced that firsthand with Mr. Beast. I told that. When I was at the event like 3 years ago, there was this woman that pushed her kid who was I'm disabled, but it was like she pushed her like disabled daughter in front of her and made her kid ask Mr. Beast for money. And it was like, whoa. And it wasn't just her. It was like there was a few parents that pushed their kids in front of them and made them ask Mr. Beast for money. And then there was also just like teenagers. Most of the people were joking, but like most of the kids, it would have been like, 16-year-old chatters that were like, Mr. Beast, could I hold 1,000? Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, can I get a rack? Like some casual shit. But there was like actually people that were like pulling up that were like, hey, can I get money? And he was like, no. In the nicest. And I was sitting there just like, bro, secondhand awkward.
Your mansion's upkeep costs you $50K a month. Maintenance for your car is an average yearly salary. Your private chef, your trainer, your doctor, your bodyguards, Erewhon, Equinox, rich person parties, woman. Across everything, your monthly expenses are clearing 6 figures.
Is that baby oil?
But even worse than the broke people begging you for money are the rich people begging you for money. They call themselves financial advisors. They try to hypnotize you with confusing financial linguistics until you've signed away 1% of your portfolio for the privilege of underperforming the market. Don't listen to them. Certainly don't listen to people pitching you their genius business ideas. All of these opportunists are starting to make you feel like a walking ATM. When you win the lottery, people won't respect you like they do other rich people because you didn't really earn your money. You just experienced a statistical glitch. This is where you begin to have a bit of an identity crisis. All you are and all you're known as is the guy that got lucky.
When you meet new people, it's often people will say, well, what do you do? Especially in my circle of people, most people were...
Oh, what do you do? I won the lottery. And nobody has respect for you. Oh. Nobody cares. It's not like... Because you're not self-made. I mean, it's true. Like, if you win the lottery, you didn't earn it. Like, you got lucky. But I don't think there's like anything that's sad about that.
Working or trying to put themselves through college. And
I think then you should just do like if you win like $10 million, that's different from like if you win like 500 million. If you're winning like an absurd amount of money, you should just use some of that to do something that's like a passion. You care about animals, open a fucking shelter, have a good animal shelter, right? Invest it, donate to charity, start your own charity, start your own fund.
And I just won the lottery and I just sit around. That's not something that I wanted to say.
One day as you're contemplating the meaning of life, a mysterious man walks up to you, and he's here to inform you that you're being sued. A random guy you've never seen in your life is claiming that he bought your ticket, and he's coming for all of your winnings.
He's gonna bring full. I'm the winner. God took me to that gas station.
I just wanted to ask, man, is there any truth to these claims about the stolen ticket?
Luckily, you're gonna be fine, because you have legal protection from our boy Jason.
Legal protection? You got a guy making a minimum wage suing you, and you have $500 million. You could just pay for a fucking better lawyer. And they have no grounds to sue.
Jason?
A New York attorney known as the lottery lawyer is now charged with extorting lottery winners in a $107 million scheme.
Jason helped a lot. He was the first guy I called.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Jason Kurland, along with 3 others, now facing charges ranging from
Oh my God, the guy you're supposed to go to.
fraud and money laundering.
Well, in hindsight, giving this guy access to our finances was a pretty stupid decision and totally stole around $10 million from you. He's obviously going to prison, but that's money you're not getting back. But hey.
Yeah, that's why when Jack was talking about the thing where it's like, oh, they're going to take 1% of your portfolio, I feel like that's pretty common in investment, like hedge fund guys. I don't think that's a non-avoidable thing. Because, like, unless you're literally managing the money yourself, you have to give somebody a percentage to manage that money.
At least you have a mansion to...
Or a monthly fee if they're a financial advisor.
Brian.
Or hourly.
30,000 people have been ordered to evacuate their...
Hey, Joe, could I be your financial advisor? I'm a student at Oxford for economics with a marketing minor. No.
Homes because of a wildfire tearing through wealthy suburbs of Los Angeles.
Among the thousands of people in Southern California who have lost homes in the wildfires is the
winner of the biggest lottery jackpot in history.
Just when you think things can't get any worse, you suffer the same fate as $2 billion Powerball winner Edwin Castro, and for some reason a large...
Wait, what? Oh, I thought he fucking got out of it.
$2 billion Powerball winner Edwin Castro, and for some reason a large amount of lottery winners, your multi-million-dollar house burns to the ground. It seems like your luck has run out. You're getting sued, you've been robbed of millions, and your home is gone. Your misfortune is of course front page news. Everyone loves a good downfall. And to you, you've become just another lottery failure. Or have you? Some sources claim—
Bro, I feel like you should just donate like 80% of it and then you get people off your back. Or do you think that would be worse? Like, I think you should donate some of it regardless, but if people fuck with you after you donate 80% of the winnings, those people are just losers. Like, that's just asshole shit.
Claim that 70% of lottery winners—
I think it might make it worse. 70% of lottery winners go bankrupt.
Others say
Me, when I hit a scratch off for $500 and then lost it like 3 weeks later.
that it's 1 in 3.
That happened, chat. I won a $500 lottery ticket. It was crazy. I remember being hype about it. You gave me a whole wad of cash at a Wawa, and then I lost it at a casino.
Which is it? The correct answer is neither. Both of those statistics have been completely debunked. Winning the lottery tends to get painted as a curse, but in
I was like, yeah, let's go to Atlantic City at $500.
reality, it turns out that stumbling
Lost 10 hands of blackjack. Dud.
into millions of dollars is actually pretty great. Real studies have shown that lottery winners are healthier and live longer. They have a lower chance of being overweight. They have higher long-term life satisfaction. They don't get socially isolated, instead they spend more time with friends. One study found that in a 5-year time span, only 5.5% of observed lottery winners went bankrupt, and these were even based on smaller wins. You're actually at a higher risk of bankruptcy if your neighbor wins the lottery. Most lottery winners—
Why? What? The dollar magnitude of a lottery win of one of your neighbors increases subsequent borrowing and bankruptcies amongst other neighbors.
Your neighbor wins the lottery. Most lottery
Oh, because you're more likely to be like, I need a win.
winners don't get assassinated.
I don't think it's property value. Your property value would go up.
Most lottery winners don't go broke. Most lottery winners get freedom, health, and happiness. So when you win the lottery, here are the final steps you need to take. Fire Jason Kurland. Cash that home insurance check, win your lawsuit, move somewhere far away, and relax. Because—
Move to fucking Iceland, bro. That's a fucking telltale, dude. You fucking move somewhere not in the United States. Yeah, Switzerland. Bunch of rich people live in Switzerland. Go to Switzerland, live in the mountains. They're gonna have to hike up 10 hours to fucking see you. Lucky for you, you have a fucking helicopter that you could just go up there. What's with you in Iceland? It's like World of T-shirts when he said it's like World of T-shirts when he's like I need to move back to Italy. It's like me in Iceland. I've been there one time for 6 days.
think they are.
It was awesome though. Life-changing experience. That was a good video. I don't know why the video was so nerve-wracking. Thought this could happen to me, as if I'm gonna win a lottery ticket myself. Yeah, you're watching this stressed out, like, fuck, man, this is what I'm gonna have to do. Taking notes. You're like, oh shit. Okay, so the first thing I need to do, I need to hire a lawyer. Then I need to, I can't tell anybody. I gotta go do this. You're like planning on winning. All right, next video. I gotta go piss real quick. The hunt for El Chapo.
This is the most heavily guarded prison in Mexico.
God, I love burn videos.
Tall mesh fences, huge watchtowers. The area is a no-fly zone. This prison is considered to be unescapable. Yet today, someone will escape. This someone happens to be the world's most powerful drug lord, El Chapo. He won't use any violence, nor will he climb over the fence. All he will do is walk into his shower and disappear.
Yeah, we've heard about this before, where he dug that big-ass tunnel from, like, one property all the way through the prison, and he had, like, a motorbike on a train track. He had absurd money to get out of jail. Isn't he now held in, like, a supermax prison in, like, the middle of nowhere in, like, Idaho? He's never getting out now. He is in... El Chapo was found guilty, and he's in life in prison in 80X Florence in Colorado. Is this where he is? Dude, he's in the middle of nowhere. Look at that. He's just in, like, the Colorado mountains. There's actually a baseball field right there. Why is there a baseball field right there? He's dead? El Chapo's not dead. Yeah, El Chapo's 68. I'm pretty sure he lives. We didn't watch a video about the hunt for El Chapo. We watched a video about what El Chapo's life is like. And he is in a guarded prison all day alone. And he gets like an hour outside of his cell in a gated area where he could see the sky like either once a day or once a week. He doesn't interact with anyone. Like, he doesn't talk to people.
This is the story of how El Chapo became one of the most successful drug dealers in the history of mankind, how he was hunted by authorities for decades, and how he escaped them over and over again. And it's the story of how an interview with a Hollywood actor and a failing car engine finally brought him down.
He did an interview with Sean Penn. Why? The man from the mountain, El Señor de la Montaña.
Joaquin Archivado Guzman Loera was born on April 4th, 1957, in a poor family in a poor neighborhood, the village La Tuna in Mexico's Sierra Madre Mountains. Boys here don't grow up wishing to be astronauts, firefighters, or doctors. They want to become drug traffickers. It's a way to make money, and money is a way out.
Do you think that's really the dream job, though, in that area? I wonder how, like, cartel-affiliated areas function from a childhood basis. In certain areas, yeah, for sure. But it's weird to be, like, when you're 5. I don't think... You think, like, 5-year-olds growing up there are like, I want to be a cartel member when I'm older. Like, witnessing people die and shit. I think it's once you're, like, a teenager is where they start... I think all kids, like 5 or 6, are probably like, I want to be an astronaut. Because you're innocent and full of hope. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, the sky's the limit. And then you get hit like a fucking truck, you know? And so I'm assuming when they're like teenagers, they're probably, you know, starting to recognize reality and the poor situation they're in. And then they start turning to like getting introduced to the cartel. Because there's some young guys that are in the cartel where they, you know, they start selling drugs at a young age. They have to kill somebody when they're like 14, and then they're in.
People will call Guzman El Chapo because of his height. He doesn't grow taller than 1.67 meters. El Chapo drops out of school early. He doesn't even finish elementary school. Instead, he spends his time working on the marijuana and poppy fields, a family tradition. From a young age, El Chapo is extremely ambitious. He makes friends with big names in the local drug scene, determined to rise through the ranks of Mexican organized crime. First, he becomes a so-called problem solver. Whenever
it is crazy that cartels, gangs, and mafias effectively functioned and function as a business. They're just an illegal business. Like, they have, yeah, they kill people, they, you know, run drugs, they do all that, but they have to have accountants, they have payroll, they have rankings of people, higher-ups and grunts and people that have to do easy work versus hard, complicated things that involve planning. It's so weird that it's just that's the business that it is. Because you usually just perceive it as like a lawless, anarchist area, but there is a functioning system.
El Chapo eliminates the person responsible. His uncompromising attitude makes him trustworthy, and he grows close to the kingpin of the Guadalajara cartel. When the boss is arrested, El Chapo keeps the business running, ultimately setting up his own organization with other traffickers, the Sinaloa cartel. He organizes planes, trucks, and rail cars to deliver cocaine and heroin into the United States, and he even builds border-crossing tunnels, a skill that will come in handy many years later. In those early years, one incident really puts El Chapo on the map. This is Juan Jesus Posadas. He's the Archbishop of Guadalajara. And
I always wonder how big you have to get for the U.S. to start looking for you, where you're out of country. Because when he gets caught, he's getting caught by U.S. officials. It's not the Mexican government.
One of the highest ranks in the church. Posadas is a popular man.
Oh, did he kill?
He advocates for
like a priest,
the poor, and publicly condemns drug trade. Right now, he's on his way to the airport to meet an ambassador of the Vatican. At the same time, El Chapo and his bodyguards pull into the parking lot. They are here to catch a flight to the beach resort town of Puerto Vallarta, one of El Chapo's favorite places to party. We don't know exactly what happened in this parking lot next. One thing we know for sure, though, the cardinal will not survive. This is the official version. These brothers run a drug trafficking operation out of Tijuana. They are at war with El Chapo and his cartel. They fight over drug running territory, and somehow they get wind that El Chapo is going to be at the airport that day. So one of the brothers and a group of gunmen rush there to ambush him. When they spot him and his bodyguards, they step out of their cars and open fire. El Chapo and his men run toward the terminal building, taking cover behind cars in the lot.
And in the crossfire, the fucking priest gets hit, so they didn't kill him.
It's raining bullets, but somehow they manage to escape without getting hit. The failed assassination leaves 7 people dead, among them the cardinal. This is the version of events that authorities will publicly report. Posadas was caught in the crossfire. Wrong time, wrong place. But there are doubts about this story. His death doesn't appear like a coincidence. Forensic experts will later say it's likely that the gunman killed the cardinal deliberately. He was shot 14 times from close range.
Well, because he still was negative publicity for them. Not like, being in the cartel is, an upholding career to have in terms of the public eye. But when you have people advocating against you and trying to build some sort of uprising defense against you, there's a reason to kill them.
Later, the officials suggest that the gunman had mistaken the cars. El Chapo regularly drives a white Mercury Grand Marquis, the same model Posadas sat in that day.
Oh, so they started shooting at the wrong car?
The gunman thought it's El Chapo's car and opened fire. But the cardinal wore his robe when he was shot. He was not dressed at all like a drug lord. If the gunman killed him at a close range, how could they have confused him with El Chapo? Years later, the successor of Posadas will make a serious...
It feels weird knowing El Chapo's alive. Dude, there's a lot of known serial killers that are either alive or died recently.
Years later, the successor of Posadas will make a serious accusation. He claims the murder of the cardinal was a crime of the state.
Se trató de un crimen de Estado, perpetrado por la Policía Judicial Federal, es decir, por la Policía de la PGR.
I mean, yeah, because if you're in a poorer country and the cartel makes that amount of money, you could basically, just like when we were playing the fucking Mafia game or historically in the Mafia, you're able to buy anybody. Like, at some point, there's a price tag where you're able to buy somebody, and if you don't buy them, you either scare them into submission or you just kill them. Like, that's what the cartel will do. And it works because it's like, hey, they're either going to pay you and you're going to work for them, they're going to scare you, you're going to work for them, or they're just going to fucking kill you. And so, like, in all 3 ways, they are above. They're basically puppeteering the entire country behind closed doors.
He believes the police carried out the killing for the Mexican government. Posadas had accused government officials of having ties to these cartels. Up to this day, it remains a mystery. What really happened in 1993 at Guadalajara Airport? This is El Chapo's wife, his sons, and one of his closest partners. Just 2 months ago, El Chapo was captured and brought to Altiplano Maximum Security Prison. Now the group is working on a plan to get him out. They begin by acquiring an old property 1 kilometer away from the prison. Next, they buy an old warehouse nearby. Here they store weapons in an armored pickup truck. Then they hire workers for one very specific job, digging a sophisticated tunnel.
How long do you think that took to dig a tunnel 1 kilometer and not be heard? Because it wasn't that far underground. And it's so weird they were able to accurately pinpoint where his cell was. Because, like, if you're underground, you have no idea where the fuck you are. Obviously, geolocation in the early 2010s, but still.
Back in 1993, after the shootout at Guadalajara Airport, the Mexican government placed a bounty on El Chapo. It took just 2 weeks until he was found and arrested. He denies being responsible for the death of the cardinal. He insists that he was the supposed target of the shootout. Ultimately, the authorities believe him. They don't charge him for homicide, just for drug trafficking. He is sentenced to 20 years in a Mexican prison, but he continues to run the Sinaloa cartel from behind bars. Through his lawyers, he passes orders to his closest allies. He doesn't need to be in the room to pull strings.
And that's why the lawyers just do that for him.
His empire runs on...
But, I mean, he's paying them good money, dude. That's like some Better Call Saul type shit. Like, those lawyers for El Chapo, oh my God.
Whispered instructions and tightly coordinated moves. In 2001, El Chapo has enough of life in prison. Also, the Mexican Supreme Court just approved a law that makes it easier to extradite criminals like him to the U.S. Time to get out.
Oh, and yeah, he probably knew. Because if he got sent to the U.S., he's never getting out. Because for big like drug cartel members or just like cross-country criminals, they'll just send you to supermax prisons in the middle of the mountains or the desert. And there's just no escape plan. Because even if you get them out, you're just fucking 200 miles from anywhere important where you're able to hop on a plane and get the fuck out.
The official version of his first
It's not like being like in a Miami jail.
prison escape is spectacular. He supposedly bribes a guard who helps him climb into a laundry cart. The guard then pushes the cart out of the cell, down the hallways, and through an unguarded gate to the parking lot. El Chapo jumps out and climbs into the trunk of a...
Wait, he got out that easily? Hold the fuck up. I thought this was the one where they dug the tunnel.
El Chapo jumps out and climbs into the trunk of a car. The guard gets in and drives to the outer prison gate. After a quick search, the car is waved through. Nobody checks the trunk. But again, that's just the official story. Several authors and journalists don't buy it. One argues that the prison's checkpoints were equipped with heat and motion sensors.
I don't understand why somebody that was directly below El Chapo would try to take his position while he was in prison, though. You know what I mean? Because he was in jail for how long? How long was he in fucking jail? He got imprisoned in 1993. When did he get out? Because if you're in jail for like 3-4 years, wouldn't you think that somebody would try and just steal your position? They'll die. Yeah, but like what? Yeah, he could still feed orders, but I don't understand the fear of taking orders from a man that can't physically do anything himself outside of him just having that aura of power. 2001. So he was in jail for 8 years, and he was still the head of Sinaloa cartel. Like, how did he successfully... I understand he was passing stuff to his lawyers, but how do you successfully run a cartel behind bars for almost a decade? Yeah, he probably had people that were, like, somewhat below him that ran, you know, the day-to-day functions. Yeah, a level of loyalty for sure. It's the same thing in, like, the mafia. It's like they're family in that sense. Like, they're fucking... They just listen to him. It's like, unless he's dead, he's still the boss. I don't know. What about now? Does the Sinaloa cartel still exist? Because El Chapo for sure is not feeding info to them now. Does the Sinaloa cartel still exist? The Sinaloa cartel's current leader includes Ismael El Mayo, Zambada Garcia, Aurelio El Guano Guzman Loera, the brother of El Chapo. Okay, so his brother runs it.
Sensors, capable of detecting any living creature, even a cat. That means the alarm...
Do you think he gets any visitations? No. That's so weird to think, though. That, like, you're the son of El Chapo, and you know your dad's alive, but you're never gonna see him until even after he dies. Because I'm assuming they're not gonna, like, ship his body back when he's dead. They'll probably just cremate him in the U.S.
Alarms would have gone off. Instead, the journalists suggest that El Chapo may have left the prison dressed in a police uniform, escorted by other corrupt officers. One way or another, systemic corruption likely played a role, and El Chapo put his newly won freedom to use. In the following years, the Mexican cartel landscape changes dramatically. In 2002, the leader of the Tijuana cartel is killed in a shootout with police. One of the brothers who had supposedly tried to assassinate El Chapo at the airport. A year later, the leader of the Gulf cartel is arrested. 2 major cartels are now without leadership. El Chapo sees an opportunity. He pushes into Tijuana and Gulf territory, triggering brutal fighting. Nuevo Laredo, an area along the US-Mexican border, practically turns into a war zone. Former forces of the Mexican army begin working for El Chapo.
Genuine question. The mafia may still exist in one form or another, not nearly as much as it did in the past time. I know gangs still heavily exist in the United States. When they push drugs, are they getting drugs from cartels? Like, how does that work? Like, if you, or even like biker gangs, like they have to have so they have connections with Mexican cartels. I'm assuming that like U.S. gangs, their higher-ups have connections either through a middleman or maybe directly through to either Mexican cartel or somewhere else, even maybe like Canada if they're drug trafficking through there, to just receive things. Maybe they grow some of the stuff themselves, but I assume that most drugs sold in the United States, like hard drugs, are not grown or manufactured in the U.S. Maybe like meth, but like cocaine and shit like that, like that's all from Mexico.
They clash with what's left of the Gulf.
And then they cut it themselves. They get pure cocaine from Mexico. They probably test it, honestly. And then they cut it to their own things while they sell.
Cartel, whose core fighters were partly trained by the US. Early on, the violence results in more than 1,000 deaths. Many of them.
Do you think that gangs got worse, or are they less dangerous from now? US gangs? I think there's less US gangs that exist now than previously, but I think the gangs that still exist are, like, prominent. There's just not as many.
Early on, the violence results in more than 1,000 deaths, many of them civilians. And that's only the beginning. In 2006, Felipe Calderón becomes Mexico's new president. Determined to crack down on organized crime, he declares war on the cartels and deploys the military. The violence escalates dramatically. Between 2007 and 2014, over 160,000 people died in the course of the war on drugs. 2007 and 2014, over 160,000 people died in the course of the war on drugs in Mexico.
In 7 years, 160,000 people died in the civil war on drugs?
In these years of
how many of those were civilians versus, like, soldiers and gang members?
bloodshed, El Chapo rises. He becomes the world's most wanted criminal, transforming the Sinaloa cartel into one of the most powerful criminal organizations in history. It becomes the top supplier of drugs to the United States: cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and fentanyl.
Really, meth? I understand the other three. I feel like meth would be manufactured and made, I don't want to say in-house, but in the U.S. I understand cocaine because cocoa leaves being grown, or even heroin or fentanyl because they're opioids.
El Chapo's cartel operates in 50 countries and generates billions of dollars in profits each year. In turn, El Chapo becomes extremely wealthy, eventually making Forbes' list of the world's billionaires. No wonder it's hard to keep him locked up. El Chapo's rescue commando needs to know the exact location of his prison cell, so they smuggle a GPS watch into his prison cell.
I was just asking how the fuck they knew where they were digging.
Disguised as a food item. Now the workers know in what direction they need to dig. Over the span of a year, they dig a sophisticated tunnel, a carefully planned complex construction costing approximately $5 million to make. The tunnel is 1.5 kilometers long and 1.70 meters high. It is reinforced.
What? How do you think they got him the second time, or even the third time then? Because wouldn't you just think he'd be, like, posted up? Okay, no, if they knew where he was, they might, like, carpet bomb him with a plane. Do you think he had to hide? I don't know. Because I was going to say, why doesn't he just post up in a mansion with, like, 100,000 fucking guards around him?
There are lights and even a ventilation system. Digging a tunnel creates a lot of dirt, so the workers build a rail system with a motorcycle adapted to it to move the dirt out of the tunnel. The construction is also supposed to function as an escape vehicle later on. But how did El Chapo end up in El Altiplano in the first place? Andrew Hogan is an agent with the Drug Enforcement Agency. He wants to take down the most powerful drug lord on Earth, perhaps in history. Currently, he's looking for allies, but he soon discovers somehow there is no task force, no team, not even a single federal agent assigned to the job of bringing El Chapo to justice. So he takes a Spanish class and prepares to move to Mexico. Meanwhile,
God, big fucking hopes for this man. Oh, nobody's hunting for El Chapo. Let me learn some Spanish and move to Mexico. What, is he going to single-handedly fucking find this guy?
One of Andrew's colleagues in the US manages to get the pin to El Chapo's BlackBerry, thanks to someone in his inner circle. He tracks down his phone to the holiday resort Cabo San Lucas. The colleague immediately calls Andrew. They're excited, and so they pass the information to the officials in Mexico. The DEA and Mexican police quickly head down to the place where El Chapo is supposedly hiding, but he's nowhere to be found. Next, they narrow down El Chapo's phone signal to one of 3 mansions near the resort Cabo San Lucas. This time, it's a hit. He's there. But before the forces arrive, El Chapo just escapes through the back door. Somehow he makes it to an airstrip without being caught and is flown to safety.
Bro, if I'm El Chapo, I'm, like, remotely running that shit from Greenland. You know what I mean? Like, why is he, I understand, okay, he has to be in Mexico to, like, be the leader, because then maybe they'll, like, try and, like, press him or some shit. Like, I mean, out of country, they could still get him, but also, like, the people within his circle might, like, somewhat betray him or something if he's, like, too far away. But, I don't know. Greenland's in NATO? Bro, I'm just thinking, like, what? Like, if you're in Mexico, I feel like he's more likely to get caught. but then he can't be hands-on in the cartel. How many people is enough for a gang? Fuck if I know.
El Chapo always seems to be one step ahead. He constantly changes his SIM cards and phones, and simply outsmarts the authorities. One DEA agent supposedly said, the Mexicans couldn't catch El Chapo if he was standing at the fucking Starbucks across the street from the embassy. But Andrew Hogan doesn't give up. In May 2012, he moves to Mexico City with his family and takes over the Sinaloa case. In the months that follow, he and his team begin intercepting members of El Chapo's inner circle. Bit by bit, they uncovered the cartel's complex communication system, how often numbers are changed, possible code names, and GPS locations. Slowly, a picture begins to emerge. One day, El Chapo seemingly wants to meet an underling in person, and he sends one of his chauffeurs to pick him up. Hogan tracks his phone. The chauffeur finally arrives at a place in Culiacan. The signal leads to a group of 5 houses. Hogan organizes a capture operation with dozens of Mexican Marines, helicopters, and trucks, and he joins the mission himself. They surround the property and storm inside. But once again, El Chapo is gone. Instead, they find a strangely placed bathtub covering the
No! They already had a different tunnel? How many tunnels did he have?
that leads into the sewers of Culiacan.
What?
But this time, the Marines managed to stay on El Chapo's tail. 3 days later, they find out that one of his men had driven him to the coastal town of Mazatlan, to a hotel. The Marines enter the 4th floor of the hotel. They storm into room 401, heading...
God, dude, you know how anxious he probably was on a given day? I'm not, like, sympathizing with him, but I'm saying, imagine being the head of, like, the biggest Mexican cartel in your time, and, like, every 3 days, you're barely escaping, like, fucking Marine tanks coming for you.
Chapo is with his family. He barricades himself in the bathroom with an assault rifle.
You think he regrets it that when he's in prison? I don't know. I don't know El Chapo.
His wife pleads with the soldiers not to harm their daughters. Shortly after El Chapo surrenders, they got him. Andrew Hogan's job is done now. He caught the most wanted man on the planet, and he worries for the safety of his family, who moved to Mexico with him. So they board a plane back to the US. Meanwhile, El Chapo goes to Altiplano. The US is pushing hard for his extradition. This would likely be his doom, the end of his reign. Time for another tunnel.
This is where he ends up getting out on the motorbike.
The rescue team and the workers manage to locate the exact spot of El Chapo's cell shower. They build a 10-meter vertical passageway that connects the tunnel to the cell, including a ladder.
10-meter vertical? They were digging 30 fucking feet underground? I thought the tunnel was like 10 feet underground. Like 8 feet underground. Like not, like right there. That's why I was like, oh, how did they hear him digging? How did they not hear him digging? Because I didn't think it was that deep. Jesus, dude. They're starting to fucking strip mine.
All this digging and drilling creates a lot of noise. Several inmates are complaining, but the guards
Oh, they did hear it.
Ignore them. El Chapo's rescue team manages to complete the 5 million tunnel directly into his prison cell, without anyone interfering.
Bro, so they just heard the digging for weeks?
All that's left is breaking through the cell floor, and thus comes the day. El Chapo sits on his bed. A surveillance camera monitors him closely. The camera also records audio. You can hear television. The volume is turned up. But you also hear loud banging noises. Probably someone is breaking through the cell floor. Next, El Chapo begins to pace up and down in his cell. After some time, he walks to his shower stall, bends over, and goes back to his bed. He removes his shoes, sits for a second. Then he walks behind the shower wall.
Yo, his heart was probably fucking racing. Oh my God.
And simply disappears.
How long did it take them to notice?
He squeezes through the hole in the ground. It's just 50 by 50 centimeters wide. 1 meter below, he finds footing on a ladder. He climbs down 10 meters into the ground until he reaches the tunnel. Someone is already waiting for him, likely his wife's brother. The rescuer sits on the motorcycle on rails. El Chapo climbs on behind him. Together, they make the 1.5 kilometer ride to the other end of the tunnel. When they
Wow, what a ride that would be. You think they talked? No. I think it was dead. It was probably like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. And then just go. Like fucking haul ass.
arrive, El Chapo and his companion climb up a small ladder through the exit shaft. They end up in an unfinished house, covered with construction material. An ATV is parked outside. They drive a short distance to a warehouse and switch to an SUV. Then they drive for 2 hours until they arrive at an airstrip. A plane is already waiting. They board it and fly to Sinaloa. Two months later, one of El Chapo's sons posts a tweet. "I'm doing fine here. You already know with whom." Attached is a photo, presumably with his father. The tweet is tagged with a location, Costa Rica.
No way he just fucking leaked where El Chapo was. Is that how they found him again?
Let's back up for a second. Some things about this spectacular escape just don't add up. There's video footage of guards watching their screens as El Chapo disappears, yet it takes them 20 minutes to check his cell. They even wait a few more minutes before they finally enter and check the escape hole. Also, it seems unlikely that building such a tunnel truly went unnoticed.
They may have paid people off.
After all inmates
They may have paid people off. Yeah.
actively complained about the drilling noise. A large majority of Mexicans believe the escape was an inside job. Shortly after El Chapo's second prison escape, the prison's warden and 2 other officials were fired. Next, 4 Mexican officials were charged. 2 were members of Mexico's Secret Service, based at the prison. The other 2 were guards who sat in the control room, monitoring El Chapo's cell. The accusation is that they bought El Chapo valuable time by not raising the alarm once the drug lord was gone. And El Chapo, he again becomes one of the most wanted criminals on Earth. The pressure to finally bring him to justice.
$5 million? No, but they're killing your ass. Nope. I could see El Chapo at a fucking local 7-Eleven and I'm not calling that fucking phone number. Hell no. Hell no, I'm not ratting on his ass. That would get you killed. Your whole family's dead. Nope. Not doing that. That would be such a bad idea. You have $5 million. $5 million, you're going to have fucking 1 day to spend it.
Justice is higher than ever. The hunt
Because they're going to fucking skin you alive, dude. You're going to die a gruesome death. It's fucking not worth it.
is on. Then El Chapo makes a crazy move. He knows he's considered a legend in Mexico, and he wants even more fame. A movie about his life on the big screen.
Dude, did I, skip? Oh, no.
Sean Penn is already involved in a production about him, along with Mexican actress Kate del Castillo. Castillo manages to contact El Chapo and his associates. Finally, El Chapo agrees to meet her and Sean Penn in person to talk about the movie, while technically he's on the run. This is a photo of the meetup.
What? I did not know this. Sean Penn met El Chapo while he was on the run.
Sean Penn interviews El Chapo about his career as a drug lord, a story later published by the Rolling Stone. In it, Penn reveals that El Chapo's escape tunnel engineers have been flown to Germany for 3 months of extensive additional training, necessary to deal with the low-lying water table beneath the prison. It's a gripping read. Beneath his smile, there's a doubtlessness to his facial expression. A question comes to mind as I observe his face, both as he speaks as while he listens. What is it that removes all doubt from a man's eyes? Is it power, admirable clarity, or
power, dude? I wouldn't even say soullessness. I mean, soullessness maybe from power, but dude, you're one of the most powerful men in the world. Leader of the fucking Sinaloa cartel at that time. He had endless money and basically had a country at hold. You could do anything, especially after you've already proven to escape prison twice.
soullessness. But according to government sources, the interview is also a crucial factor for investigators to get closer to El Chapo. Apparently, all the while, they're monitoring Penn and Castillo's movements very closely. It's October 9th, 2015. Mexican special forces are closing in on him in the mountains of Sinaloa.
How the fuck did they contact El Chapo? Side question. It was oh yeah, the actress got in contact with El Chapo. Through what? Fucking Facebook Messenger? What, did they just hit him up? And how did they arrange that meetup? Wouldn't you think that the people would be yeah, we're gonna make sure you don't try and fucking work with the FBI to get us or some shit.
After a while, they actually spot him. He's only got one bodyguard with him. This is their moment. They take off after them, chasing them through the terrain. As they get nearer, El Chapo falls off a cliff. His bodyguard finds him and carries him to the depths of the forest. The special forces lose sight of them and they escape. A catastrophic failure. But the authorities don't give up the hunt. In January 2016, they get another chance. The Marines manage to locate El Chapo once again in the coastal city of Los Mochis. The clue comes from a taco order placed from a white van. Witnesses say the driver is one of El Chapo's men. The Marines begin to surveil the car. It ultimately leads them to a safe house. A few hours later, the soldiers storm the place. Cartel gunmen try to hold them off. A gunfight breaks out. The Marines eventually push up to the second floor, then the roof. But El Chapo is gone. True to his form, he and one of his gunmen fled through a hidden tunnel. Right now, they are climbing out of a drainage tunnel a short distance away, right across from a Walmart.
Oh my God, no way. Imagine you're shopping at a Walmart in Mexico on vacation in 2016, and you see fucking El Chapo pop out of like a drain. Like, what? That would be surreal.
El Chapo and his gunmen need to escape quickly. They steal a car, guns drawn, but after just driving a few blocks, the car breaks down. So they ditch it and lose valuable time. Then they take over another car and manage to get on the highway, but it's too late. Police finally arrest El Chapo, one of history's most powerful drug lords. He tells the officers, "You are all going to die." 40 of his assassins are supposedly on their way to free him, but he gets handed over to the Marines, and it's over. After a decade of hide and seek, escaping over and over again, in all likelihood protected by systemic corruption, El Chapo has finally been caught. Later that day, the Mexican president tweets, "Mission accomplished. We have him." Soon after, El Chapo was
Have they ever done an interview with him recently?
extradited to the United States, the one thing he truly feared. On July 17th, 2019,
I want to look that up.
Quiero dejar en claro el contenido de esta entrevista es exclusivo para la señorita Kay del Castillo y el señor Sean Penn. ¿Cómo pasó? ¿Cómo se está en contacto con las drogas? Bueno, de la edad de 15 años en adelante, de donde yo soy, que es el municipio de Badiraguato, yo me crié en un rancho que se llama La Tuna. Por allá, hasta la fecha, no hay fuentes de trabajo.
I don't know. I've always wondered, like, if they've ever done, like, they always, like, hey, have you ever done, like, they never do in-depth interviews. They're always like, hey, how do you get into the drug business? I would be like, I don't give a fuck how you got in the drug business, dude. Like, what do you think on a day-to-day basis philosophically? You know what I mean? Like, do you ever go like, wow, dude, I've, like, killed, like, 100,000 people? Like, shit like that. Like, just, or, like, even dictators in history. Like, being able to sit down and, like, ask fucking people that have contributed to mass death. Like, how do you, like, do you care? Is that something that you battle with? Did you care and now you don't? And it's like you've grown cold to it? Or is it just like, hey, man, love of the game. That's how it fucking happens. Like, that's how the fucking ball rolls.
3 years after his second escape, he was sentenced to life in Colorado's Supermax prison. That's where he remains locked up to this day. The Sinaloa cartel and other Mexican cartels.
You would go crazy, dude. Imagine being in that cell 23 hours a day. Forever.
That's where he remains locked up to this day. The Sinaloa cartel and other Mexican cartels are as strong as ever, operating as undeterred global organizations.
Not me. Bro, TB, you would go, I'd give you a week. I'd give you a week. A week. I give the average person 6 days until they fucking lose their mind. 23 hours a day, you're just in a room. Yeah, you got a book. That's all you got. You got one book. You got a book. Maybe a few books. You got a book every once in a while. You have the same fucking shit meal every day. You shit on camera. You poop on camera. There's no sunlight. There's a little ass window. And you're just there all fucking day. All fucking day. You would get so bored. Boredom is on the level of disgust. On like a wheel of emotions. It's like a very minimal form of disgust. You would go from bored to it literally feeling like genuine torture.
There's so much more to this story that we couldn't cover in this video. But apparently, some video journalist obsessed with maps is about to pick it up very soon.
Oh, Johnny Harris! That's my goat. That's my goat. He said he was making a video on North Korea soon, and I've been waiting for it. Love watching videos about North Korea. Ugh. I don't think anybody between the age of 14 to 20 would be able to handle more than a day because they would miss the internet. I think you could handle a day. I'm saying, I think it would get easier and then really hard. I think for the majority of us, if you were in a room alone for 23 hours a day, first week, it's like, fuck, dude, I have no technology. You get over it. Then it's like, wow, I have no interaction with people. Uh-oh. Wow, I haven't seen the outside. Wow, I'm never getting out of here. And then you just fucking go, ooh, 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 ooh. Fucking crazy. Also, W stream chat. If you have any videos you want me to watch or games you want me to play, video suggestion tab, game suggestion tab. The craziest meals ever eaten on my 600-pound life.
My 600-pound life eats some of the craziest meals ever seen on TV, and in this video we're going to break down the most insane, looking at the calories, cost and more, starting with James B, the man who is addicted to getting food deliveries. James's story...
I thought a lot of people on my 600-pound life got food delivered. Because unless they have somebody, usually on these shows, they're so overweight that they can't walk, and they get food delivered unless they have a caretaker that could get it delivered for them. Do a calorie challenge. I'm going to genuinely predict that this first meal I could not eat in a day. His one meal, I don't think the majority of us would be able to eat in one day. He's probably scaling, so it's probably starting like number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And he weighs in at a staggering 625 pounds, which won't come as a surprise when you see what he...
That's lower on the scale for most my 600-pound life. Because it's usually, my 600-pound life isn't usually my 600-pound life. It's like 600 and above, generally. Is there another show that's more than that? Because I feel like we've seen shows where they're like 860, like 900. I think they usually do 600 pounds because that's like kind of like a biological limitation for most people. Like your body structure doesn't usually support more 1,000-pound sisters, but I think they were each 500 pounds.
I get excited. It's like the Super Bowl. You can get whatever you want now. You understand?
He lists off his massive order of food, which is just an insane amount for an entire family, let alone one man. Some of these items have been removed from the IHOP menu, so we'll be going with the closest item currently on their menu.
All right, can I get the 2 slices of Steakhouse Premium Pancake? Can I get the Game Day Family Feast? Can I get the original French toast?
His first order of Steakhouse Premium Pancakes consists of 2 pancakes with smoked bacon pieces and caramel sauce.
Bro, that kind of sounds gross. Like eating the bacon bits are in the pancakes. That's good. I really don't think it is. I like caramel on pancakes. I'm fine with the drizzle. I'm fine with even bacon on the side, but inside the pancakes.
And he orders 2 of these.
2? That's already more than, I would say 90% of my chat eats in a day. That's 3,200 calories.
He then adds a Game Day Family Feast, which consists of 8 pancakes, 8 bacon strips.
What? He's gonna eat 2 separate pancake meals. And then 8 more pancakes on top of that? Dude, how does your stomach have enough room?
4 servings of scrambled eggs, hash browns, and 8 sausage links. And he isn't done yet. He orders some original French toast and finally 2 slices of ham. In total, this mammoth breakfast comes to $84 and around 7,500 calories. And he hasn't even brushed it.
I could not eat that in a day. I think that alone would be like the challenge. Like I have a day to eat what he eats for breakfast.
His teeth yet. It seems hard to believe that it totals this many calories, but seeing the
Bro, that's really how people get this obese. Like, cause this is one meal. I have always said the more you weigh, the harder it is to maintain that weight. Like if you eat, say you weigh 180 pounds and you eat 3,000 calories, you're gonna gain weight. But if you weigh 600 pounds and you eat 3,000 calories, you're probably going to lose weight.
The amount of food on the table in front of him shows the reality of the situation. The most shocking part about this is that he actually finishes every single item he orders and still wants more.
So, when breakfast is over, then...
Bro, and I just want to say, on ignoring the rest of everything, drinking 2 full Minute Maid apple juices is horrible for you. That alone is already like 80 to 90 grams of sugar in just one. And it doesn't matter if it's natural sugars. You're just drinking apple juice. It's just all the worst of it in there. And no, it's fruit. Bro, no, that's actually a common misconception. I need you to know that. If you're drinking full pulp orange juice, that's not that bad for you. But if you're drinking like Minute Maid orange juice or apple juice, it's basically the same thing as soda. Yes, it's added sugar versus natural sugar, but everything that's good in the fruit is not in the juice. But that's why when you drink pulp, it has the the fiber and all the other shit in it because it's thick and it's basically just like grinded up oranges. But if you're just juicing fruits, you're eating the worst of it.
Get full, but it's temporary. Then I'm already back on the phone, looking on what I'm gonna get for lunch.
See, bro, what is this camera angle? They're literally saying, like, how do we make him seem as fat as possible? That's literally what they're going, like, yeah, sorry, we need to set this up. Yeah, let me just get an old junk shot right here.
Now, obviously James needs to change his eating habits quickly if he wants to lose weight. In my newsletter, The Fat Loss Kitchen could be the key for him and anyone else looking to lose weight.
Is this an ad? Oh.
While not eating boring meals. Every single Friday, I will send you a recipe for one of who appears in the same season, shocked viewers with the sheer amount of eggs she uses every single day. Dolly Martinez is someone my subscribers already know all about, as I've just released a video calling her the most immature patient ever on the show, and for good reason, after she moved into a drug den to avoid Dr. Now. But her—
What? Moved into a drug den?
She lives with her best friend Cheyenne, who, to be honest, could—
What upsets me is, like, I think TLC sometimes looks for really obese people that clearly don't want help. And, like, I don't know. A lot of the time there are really good transformations, but I feel like half of the people they get are like, no, it's just a thyroid issue.
Also be a star on the show, and this means that they both indulge each other's bad habits. So when Dolly asks for 15 eggs for breakfast, Cheyenne—
15 eggs for breakfast? Bro, wouldn't that start tasting like shit? What's the most eggs you've had in a sitting? I've had like 4. And around the 4th egg, you're like, starting to taste like mush. Maybe 6. I think I've maybe had 6 eggs one time. That's a lot of cholesterol. And it's not bad necessarily, but it's like, you know, you shouldn't be eating that many eggs.
Didn't bat an eyelid. Obviously, egg prices are insane at the moment in America, with a dozen eggs costing around $5.50. So, on average, the amount of eggs alone probably cost her $7. To make matters worse, a single—
Okay, yeah, egg prices are very high today, but it's like, eggs are still a lot cheaper than, like, most other food commodities.
Egg has around 70 calories in, and not even taking into account the oil she used for cooking, this is around 1,100 calories worth of egg. And
bro, she's making 1 omelet out of scrambled eggs. That is appalling. That, like, dude, it's just gonna be like a cake block of mush.
Doesn't stop there, adding as much cheese as she could physically hold into her eggs. Obviously, there's no exact number here as she just gets a fistful, but let's be generous and say that that's 500 grams of cheddar cheese, which would be yet another—
No, that was like 10 slices. She did a fistful of cheese.
2,000 calories, bringing breakfast to 3,100 calories. It should come at no surprise then that when she's finally weighed, the scales show a staggering number.
Step down. We're gonna be going to room 5.
How did that happen? It's actually a lot.
And you got to keep in mind too, like, height. Like, when there's some tall people on this show that are 600 pounds, but they're like 6'3", that's different from, like, she's probably like 5'5". Like, if you're like 5'5" and 5'90", that's like way worse than being like 6 foot 6'30".
A lot more than I thought I was going to see. There's no way I gained that much. So that makes no sense. That's impossible unless my scale at home must be wrong.
Somehow Dolly thinks that her diet couldn't have brought her to that weight, and Dr. Now was quick to explain how dangerous her situation had become.
Alright, so you are 593 pounds.
Bro, Dr. Now, like, he's likable and hateable at the same time. Because he'll walk in there and be like, okay, well, you're really fat. You're like 600 pounds. You need to lose weight. And then it's like, he doesn't even seem like a doctor sometimes. Like, he'll just say such, like, obvious surface level shit. Where it's just like, yeah, you're obese. Like, and then he'll be like, you need to lose weight. Thanks, doctor, now.
And you're 5'2"?
Yes, sir.
So your BMI
She's 5'2".
is 108. So that's a very high BMI. And your body is under a lot of strain because of that.
And just like Dolly, Maya's body was under a lot of strain too, caused by her addiction to fast food drive-thrus. Maya appeared in season 7 of the show and started her episode weighing over 600 pounds, and it's not hard to see how she got there. Because she's so large, despite being able to walk around and bathe herself, her boyfriend Christian needs to do pretty much everything else for her. This makes her attitude even more frustrating, as she lies to her boyfriend about where she goes during the day.
He doesn't know when I go to get food because I get dressed to go out and I tell him it's for errands.
He knows. He knows you're lying to him. This is so similar to, like, a family member with alcoholism. Like, that's why I always say food addiction's so like drugs. Like, yeah, no, he doesn't know. No, they know. No, they know. Like, it's obvious. It's usually very obvious when you're addicted to something. And it doesn't matter if you're like, yeah, I'm just going out for errands. No, you're doing crack. Or you're going to drink a fifth of whiskey and you come back hammered. Doesn't matter if you use mouthwash or something. Similar in the same manner, it's like this where she's like, yeah, he sees that she's eating 2,000 calories with him, but she's fucking 700 pounds. Like, that's not possible unless she's lying to him.
But it's a lie, because the only thing I'm going
How much do you eat? I don't know in a given day. If I had to guess, probably 2,800 to 3,200 calories.
to do is eat.
Maya lies to her boyfriend so she doesn't feel judged and embarrassed about going to multiple drive-thrus. This may sound obvious, but I think it's quite clear that Christian knows she goes to the drive-thrus and just wants to keep the peace. In the car to the drive-thrus, Maya admits that sometimes she will go to 4 places in a row, which is more than most people will go to in an entire month, let alone in a single morning. Her first stop is McDonald's, and her order is mammoth to say the least.
Can I get 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg, and cheese?
How does she safely drive? Because if she needed, like, to, like, quickly turn the wheel, she wouldn't be able to.
A bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage muffin with egg.
So with her order of 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg and cheese, and a sausage and egg muffin, this brings her calories to start her morning to around 1,200 and costs around $15. But this wasn't enough, and Maya isn't full yet.
There's no words for that feeling when you taste something you love. It's incredible, but it feels like that meal is gone in a second.
I've never heard somebody glaze a fucking sausage, egg, and cheese for McDonald's so hard.
So I move on to the next things I'm craving.
Next, she pulls up to the Arby's drive-thru and puts through another massive order.
Can I get a beef and cheddar sandwich? Jalapeno.
Wow. Like, eating a full breakfast, full meal at McDonald's and going, you know what, I'm going to go get an Arby's beef and cheddar.
Your roast beef slider and your ultimate BLT sandwich.
With the beef and cheddar sandwich,
Oh! Dude, who eats that? Outside of her, who eats that? I've never, like, that just you know how, like, fast food images are supposed to look, like, immaculate and just, like, mouth-watering, and then in person they look bad? This is, like, somebody got paid to make this look presentable, and it still looks gross. So it only is worse in person.
Jalapeno roast beef slider and an ultimate BLT sandwich, which by far has the most
that looks bad. That doesn't look that bad.
Calories of any of her meals this morning. All confirmed, she digs in yet again. She decides to enter a spree of drive-thrus here, and finishes her morning having eaten 2,679 calories and having spent $31, which is probably enough to feed 2 or 3 people. I'm going to make a full video on Maya, as her addiction to food was so strong and her relationship with her family was made extremely difficult because of that. So make sure you listen to Dr. now and subscribe to my channel.
I encourage everybody to
The cameo. Oh my god. Paid him. Does he have a diamond studded? What's on that? That's like bedazzled.
subscribe to the Greg's YouTube channel and enjoy the videos.
Now, although Maya hid her food addiction, Bethany was much more brazen about hers, as she has her children bring her a ridiculous amount of fast food to binge on. Bethany's episode starts with her saying she hates her life, and she's in constant misery. At 40 years old and over 600 pounds, she needs her 10-year-old daughter to help her get ready for the day. She has another 18-year-old daughter that does cook for her, and she does start by cooking her mother a breakfast of 3 eggs and some toast. This is just a normal breakfast, and obviously isn't too crazy. However, Bethany gets hungry during the making of this breakfast, so has a muffin and a bun and a packet of what looks like crackers before she has her breakfast. This is pretty tame as far as 600-pound life breakfasts go though, and the real shocking meal comes later into her episode as she orders a pizza feast all for herself. When her daughters are
I just think they don't realize, like, it's so sad for the kids to watch this, where like you're witnessing your mom go down like basically a rabbit hole of like addiction, basically. Like her kids watching her get more and more overweight. Like and it's not like, oh, you gained a few pounds. It's like she can't put her socks on.
arrive home from school, they order a meal consisting of 2 pizzas and a massive box of multiple slices of garlic bread. I try to find the specific restaurant, but not being from America and my knowledge of the fast food chains over there being limited, we have to make some assumptions here. So it looks like 2 large mushroom and pepper pizzas, which would have around 3,000 to 4,000 calories in total. But what really takes the cake is the massive box of cheesy garlic bread she orders for basically all herself.
That's when food became this thing in life.
Bro, that is a whole that's like a whole frozen box of Texas toast. That is so much. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces of Texas toast.
Like it is now, where I have to have it.
At my count, there's 15 slices there.
I think I could eat that, though. I love garlic bread. Oh, I think I could eat. No, I think I'd get around 5 in, and I'd just be like, I feel like shit.
Life like it is now, where I have to have it.
At my count, there's 15 slices there, and at minimum 350 calories per slice, that totals up to 5,250 calories just on garlic bread. She does give a couple of slices of pizza and a slice of garlic bread to her daughters, but...
And it's just straight carbs. Like, literally just straight carbs.
Not too much, and it looks like it's safe to assume that she ate no less than 8,000 calories in this one meal. She does leave the crusts though, so maybe she saves some.
Do you think they pay them? I wonder how they get money for this. They have to be paying them.
To help me escape it was food, so I was just eating my way through life at that time and gaining. So I put on another 100 pounds after that and got up to the 400s by the time I was 15.
Now, like Maya,
she was 400 pounds at 15.
Before Bethany, Karina also tries to hide her food habit, but in a very different way. Featuring in season 6 of the show, and much like the other stars, her first thought every morning is that she survived the night. Her following thought...
I mean, that's me too. Every time I wake up at like... I'll wake up and like take a piss in the middle of the night. I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie, I was so tired and I didn't want to walk to the light switch that I fell asleep with the lights on, and I set an alarm for an hour to wake up to go turn it off. Woke up like 8 hours later. I was like, oh, it's the next day. I'm not dead. I literally was like, I didn't die in my sleep. Because I didn't have dreams that night, and I was like, oh, that was like basically being dead. Like, it was just, there was nothing. I just didn't exist for 8 hours, and now I teleported.
Is wondering what she's going to have for breakfast, which is the sad reality of living with a deep food addiction. She lives with her parents, and the only time she leaves the house is to the grocery store with them, while being carried in the back of their people carrier. But she only does this so she knows her parents are going to buy what she wants from the store.
My parents have to drive me, and I sit in the back of the van on the floor. So
I don't know if the government could ever implement something like this, because it would be like kind of fucked up, but there should be like a rule in grocery stores where if like somebody's coming in that's like this overweight and they're like actively trying to buy like 2 liters of soda and Oreos and like cheesecake and other shit, like you just don't sell it to them.
They literally had to fold the seats in the van down, put a blanket on the floor.
As she's wheeled around the store, her parents do not question anything she wants. Ice cream, chips, cakes, and more, with nothing being off limits. Even though her parents don't question her meals and know she
like that's fucking crazy. That's what you're getting for like a party of people.
Eats a massive amount of food, she still attempts to hide her addiction. When her parents leave for the evening and go to dinner, Karina allows herself to order even more food.
I have 2 medium pizzas with pepperoni and sausage, 1 order of your cheese sticks, 24 honey chipotle wings, and the double chocolate chip brownie.
Delivery or carry out?
This will be for delivery. Thank you.
When the food arrives and is laid out on the bed, Karina rubs her hands together as she looks at the mountain of food in front of her. Starting with the medium pizzas, they probably have at minimum 2,500 calories in them each. And I'm not sure what restaurant she got them from, but if we go off the Papa John's menu, those 24 wings will have another 2,500.
44 grams. That's the worst of it. 44 grams of saturated fat. Oh my God, they're gonna have a heart attack in 3 years.
Calories in them, the majority of the calories coming from the sauce they are in. She tops the meal off with a brownie, with one square having 250 calories, so another 2,250 calories there, and a garlic bread.
Oh my God, and the sodium, dude. Ugh, just be like licking a salt block, eating 3 fucking pizzas.
Which is at minimum 1,000 calories.
Chug a gallon of water after that.
So in this absolute feast, she will devour around 8,250 calories, which explains how her weight has ballooned to this size, and has now meant that her bed needs to be
How do they Bro, her bed is held up by cinder blocks.
held up with cinder blocks.
Oh my God. That's nuts that a regular bed frame doesn't hold her. Because like a regular bed frame could hold like 4 people.
Feel warm and good inside, if only for a short while. But I'm afraid that one day I'm just gonna need too much. I'm probably gonna die from a heart attack, or I'm gonna suffocate. But I can't stop myself.
This somehow wasn't as big as the next patient's meal though, which actually was so large it made headlines in the news. In season 11 of the show, we met Chris, whose legs are so fat that they push against each other, meaning he can barely stand up. Despite this, he can
I mean, he looks the most healthy out of any of the people we've seen.
Take care of himself and do most daily tasks, which includes making his own breakfast.
Like, that's the first vegetables I've seen in this video.
My weight makes it challenging to cook the kind of breakfast that I want. Because of the weight and the fat in between my legs, I can't stand up straight, so they're constantly pushing apart, which makes it really uncomfortable to stand in the kitchen for a long period of time, so I actually have to sit on a cooler that I sit on when I cook.
This is the scene which made headlines and led to comments such as, "This is my food for an entire week," and honestly, it isn't an exaggeration. Now, it's pretty impossible to track the calories of this meal, as he just has a pan full of bacon, another massive pan full of scrambled
he's
eggs.
out of breath sitting still. Like, that's a fucking telltale sign you need to get help.
Sausages in the oven, and of course cheese to melt on top. Chris puts all of these ingredients into a breakfast burrito, of which he makes 12. 12 whole breakfast burritos smothered in sauce.
I make the meal with my stomach, not with my brain, so I have a really big meal, and when I start eating, as soon as I hit that first bite, I eat it all. I call it going red. I can't stop.
He doesn't even take these burritos to a table, and
I do think there is like a genetic factor with that, but it also is highly influenced by just habit.
Prefers to eat them at the kitchen bench to allow him to devour them quicker. Although Chris didn't eat a healthy meal, at least he made an effort to cook his food, which can't be said about Holly, who decided on the day before her weigh-in at the doctor's office, she would order a greasy Chinese meal. Now, there's not really an insane amount of food here. Well, maybe it is for the average person.
Dude, I feel like you'd get food poisoning from that.
Greasy Chinese meal. Now, there's not really an insane amount of food here. Well, maybe it is for the average person. But the real craziness comes from the timing of her decision to get this Chinese food, which is obviously extremely high in fat, oil, and salt.
Since we just moved in, we're not really set up to cook. So we're ordering delivery from places around here a lot until we can get some pots and pans and stuff to cook with.
Until we get some pots and pans. You ever heard of Amazon? It fucking takes a day, 2 days, 3 days tops. Unless you live in the middle of fucking nowhere. You order some shit online, it fucking shows up. What do you mean? Oh, well, we just moved in 4 weeks ago, so it's taken us a while to get some pots and pans. What are you fucking ordering them from Temu?
But Ray said he's gonna look for a job tomorrow, and he'll get all that while he's out. And we can start prepping healthy meals.
Holly uses the excuse that she's
You could order healthier food out.
just moved into her home and she can't afford pots and pans. But looking at the size of her Chinese order, surely that could have been swapped for something healthy and bought some pans to cook with. So she has a massive Chinese meal on the night, knowing full well in the morning she's going for her weigh-in with the doctor, in which she has a goal to lose 50 pounds, and that goes about as well as you're expecting.
I mean, she still lost weight.
I'm really upset, and I don't understand why my progress isn't that good. So I'm shocked and confused and nervous to hear what Dr. Now is gonna say.
She doesn't lose as much weight as Dr. Now was expecting, which caused him to question why she values food.
That was a good video. 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 fries, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pastas, 55 peppers, and 155 taters. 15 eggs? Bro, when did you decide a dozen wasn't enough? Yeah, where's the 3 added on to that? Is that like everything has to be in 5s? Why 15 eggs? Because then the way that you're consuming them is in like an odd number. Like, that's OCD. I don't know, because I mean you're buying them in 12s or 24s. Like that's how you buy. Maybe you get a 30 egg. I don't know if they have 30 egg cases. Maybe that would be the case if you get like 2 servings of 30 eggs.